Chapter 3597, Ka. The sacred Dragon King and the rest bowed respectfully. Even Archangel Gabriel bowed respectfully. However, the expressions of the Black Tower Magi, High Water Demon King, and the Old Scholar changed drastically. A terrifying aura surrounded them and resisted the Third Prince's aura. However, even if they tried to block it, they had no choice but to bend down and break out in cold sweat. Greetings, Third Prince. They hurriedly bowed as well. The Third Prince's strength was not something that Archangel Gabriel could compare to. Similarly, it was not something they could compare to. Not bad, your strength is not bad. The Third Prince sized up the three of them and nodded in satisfaction. With a flick of his palm, he took out a black 12-winged angel wing and a few lightbook. This is your reward. I'll give it to you in advance. The Third Prince waved his arm, and the Dark Angel's 12-winged wings and the lightbooks landed in front of the Black Tower Magi and the Old Scholar. The Black Tower Magi were delighted. The Old Scholar opened the book and flipped through it. His face was also filled with satisfaction. A small dragon palace can be easily destroyed by us. Don't worry, Third Prince. High Water Demon King swept a glance over and said respectfully to the Third Prince, I believe in the 3 experts from the Invincible domain. Kill the 2 top-notch experts from the Dragon Palace. Leave the purebred divine dragon behind. Don't kill them. This is the Dead Light Realm. It can seal off an area without the need for Magi to control it. The Third Prince instructed and threw a treasure to them. Yes. The Black Tower Magi and the rest received the Dead Light Realm and nodded respectfully. Experts from the Invincible domain? The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd God's tribe leader, and the rest were pleasantly surprised when they heard the Third Prince's word. The Invincible domain was the place where old monsters at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy realm broke through. The chances of breaking through here were very high, but it was also very dangerous. Only those experts who had not broken through for a long time would step into the Invincible domain. Previously, the Third Prince said to call for the experts from the Invincible domain. They did not expect him to call them over so quickly. I'll leave it to you. I don't want to mess it up. The Third Prince warned them before disappearing once again. Holy Dragon King, tell them about the Dragon Palace. These 3 are the Black Tower Magus, the Old Scholar, and the High Water Demon King. Archangel Gabriel said to them after the Third Prince left. High Water Demon King? As soon as Archangel Gabriel finished speaking, the leader of the Giant of Light let out a cry of surprise, a look of shock on his face. His eyes were filled with fear and terror as he looked at Tai Shui Demon King. Ha ha! Have you heard of my name? Demon Monarch Tai Water looked at the Giant of Light Patriarch and asked with a hearty laugh. Before I became the leader of the Giants of Light, I had already heard of the name of the High Water Goblin King. The Patriarch of the Giant of Light stared at Tai Shui Demon King and said, that was 10 billion years ago. Let's talk about the expert from Dragon Palace first. The Black Tower Magus looked at them and said indifferently, the Dragon Palace has more than 50 pinnacle experts, which is not a lot. We have 71 on our side, but they have 2 very terrifying existences. One is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, and the other is the woman in red. They can kill our ordinary pinnacle experts in seconds. The Giant of Light said with some trepidation. Oh, are you stronger than me? Tai Shui Demon King waved his arm, and a terrifying energy shot towards the Patriarch of the Giant of Light Patriarch. The Patriarch of the Giant of Light Patriarch felt the terrifying aura, and his face changed drastically. He hurriedly raised his arm to block. Boom. But in the next moment, he didn't have the slightest ability to resist, and his body was sent flying backward. The Patriarch of the Giant of Light Patriarch widened his eyes in shock. Hiss. The eyes of the Sacred Dragon King and the others narrowed when they saw the terrifying aura, and they couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. This was an expert on the same level as them. Wasn't this too terrifying? As expected of an expert from the Invincible domain. So strong, so terrifying. The Patriarch of the Shepherd God's tribe was shocked when he saw this. Such an expert was able to send the Patriarch of the Giant of Light flying with a casual wave of his hand. If he was serious, wouldn't he be able to kill him in an instant? The patriarch of the Giant of Light patriarch was much stronger than ordinary third-order universe sovereigns. They knew that the experts from the Invincible domain were strong, but they didn't expect them to be so monstrous. Let's go. Don't waste time. I want to spar with the Dragon King. The old scholar's gaze swept across them as he spoke. Old scholar, that Dragon King is mine. I said that I'll bring some dragon meat for my little ones. The high water demon monarch stared at the old scholar as he spoke. He, I have a fan made of angel feathers and the oracle bone inscriptions of the Black Tortoise tribe. I just happen to be lacking a divine dragon throne. The old scholar waved the fan in his hand as he looked at the high water demon monarch. Huh! When the sacred Dragon King and the others heard the old scholar's words, their eyes landed on the white fan in his hand. Their expressions changed once again. It was a fan made from the wings of an angel. Wasn't this fellow afraid that the angel tribe would destroy him? It seemed like they were also top-notch existences in the Invincible domain. They naturally understood the Invincible domain. However, news of what happened in the Invincible domain rarely spread to the outside world. That was because that was the place where a group of experts broke through. No expert would be bored enough to sit around and watch. Looking at the fan in the old scholar's hand, they knew that he was also a terrifying existence. He was a lunatic. All right, let's go immediately. As for which one of you will fight the Dragon King, that will depend on who the Dragon King will fight against. Don't mess this up, or our third prince will not let the three of you off. Beside him, Archangel Gabriel frowned as he reminded them. His words caused the old scholar and the high water demon monarch to restrain themselves. If the angel tribe wanted to deal with them, even if they did not break the rules, they had ways to do so. In the Invincible domain, there were experts from the angel tribe, and there were quite a number of them. There were also crazy-looking existences. My lords, let's go. It will take more than a year to get there from here. The sacred Dragon King looked at them and spoke. All right, let's go. The Black Tower Magus nodded. Let's go. The sacred Dragon King and the others were excited. The Shepherd tribe, the Light Insect tribe, and the Giant of Light also looked ferocious and excited. Not long ago, the Dragon Palace had caused the 4 major races to suffer heavy losses, and now, the third prince had invited 3 unfathomable experts from the Invincible domain. This time, they must destroy the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and avenge their disciples, their experts, and their tribe leader. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is mine. The group teleported away and flew above the inner region of the chaotic continent. The high water demon monarch growled, took out the universe AI, and wrote a message on it. I heard that an expert called the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has appeared in the inner continent. Ha ha ha. I, the high water demon monarch, would like to experience it for myself. Dragon King, is it? 1 year later, I will challenge you. Die. Chapter 3598. I heard that an expert called the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has appeared in the inner continent. Ha ha ha. I, Overwater Demon King, would like to experience it for myself. Dragon King, is it? 1 year later, I will challenge you. Die. Ha ha ha. Overwater Demon King laughed maniacally after sending the message. From the side, Holy Dragon King and the others glanced at Taishui Demon King, astonished. Why was this Overwater Demon King behaving like a madman? Legend has it that the Invincible domain is a place where peak supremacies enter in search of a breakthrough. There are many old monsters there, some who have lived for more than 20 billion years. The Shepherd God's Patriarch swept a glance around and transmitted a message to the Sacred Dragon King and the Giant of Light Patriarch. Living for more than 20 billion years without a breakthrough. Time will wear down an expert's intelligence and temperament. This kind of expert is terrifying. The Giant of Light Patriarch's eyes flickered. As peak experts of an advanced race, they had some understanding of the Invincible domain. However, none of their races had ever entered the Invincible domain. Most importantly, they had heard that many of the angel race's powerhouses had fallen inside in the past. This made them wary of the Invincible domain. Even experts from the angel race had fallen inside. One could imagine how dangerous it was. I've heard of Overwater Demon King's deeds. He was a terrifying expert who became famous more than 10 billion years ago. I heard that he had exterminated his race alone. He was extremely vicious and cruel. The Giant of Light patriarch continued. At that time, there were 3 or 4 third-order sovereigns in the High Water Demon King's clan. All of them were killed by him. As for why he destroyed his clan, I have no idea. This kind of existence is the real monster level. I remember, when the Divine Dragon clan was still glorious, there was a demon beast that killed a dragon king of the Dragon clan and escaped to the Invincible domain. Even the experts of the Divine Dragon clan could not find it. Indeed, there was a traitor in the Celestial Empire who escaped to the Invincible domain. However, the Celestial Empire did not search for the traitor. The patriarchs of the various races communicated through voice transmissions. Clearly, they had a trace of reverence for the Invincible domain. Perhaps billions of years later, before the cataclysm arrived, they would head to the Invincible domain to look for opportunities, to find a way to fight and kill. A group of people flew in the sky. They were not as majestic as the last time. There weren't as many disciples following him as last time. However, the power this time was even more terrifying than the last time. All the peak experts of the 6 major races had arrived, and there were also 3 top experts of the Invincible domain. Patriarch, take a look at the universe's AI. Lord Highwater Demon King has posted on the AI that he wants to challenge the Dragon King. It has caused a huge sensation. Time passed day by day. When they had been on the road for more than a month, an expert of the Black Fog Spirit clan suddenly exclaimed, The patriarch of the Black Fog Spirit race, the patriarch of the Shepherd God race, and the other experts were stunned. They immediately opened the AI to take a look. Sure enough, they saw a very hot piece of news. The news was that the High Water Demon King had challenged the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and wanted the Dragon King to die. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect someone to know about me. It seems like I'm quite famous. Hearing the exclamation of the Black Fog Spirit race expert, High Water Demon King also opened the AI. When he saw that his news had caused a sensation, he couldn't help but laugh. He was very satisfied with this situation. Beside him, the old scholar frowned slightly when he heard their words. He took out the AI and looked at it. His eyes flickered. At this moment, the news about the High Water Demon King on the AI had caused a huge sensation. It had been a long time since the High Water Demon King had appeared in the sight of the chaotic continent. No one born in the last few billion years had heard of this existence. Those experts who had lived for billions of years had long forgotten about him, but now he had suddenly appeared. At first, when the High Water Demon King had posted the news on the AI, it didn't attract much attention. Only a few people knew that this terrifying existence had suddenly made a statement. But as time passed, this matter was gradually spread out. And the news about the High Water Demon King had also spread. An extremely terrifying expert who had entered the Invincible domain 10 billion years ago suddenly wanted to challenge the Dragon King and wanted the Dragon King to die. How could they not be shocked? Especially when this matter was related to the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Is this High Water Demon King really an old monster from 10 billion years ago as some information says? An existence who had entered the Invincible domain 10 billion years ago? He actually wants to challenge the Dragon King? To kill the Dragon King? This is already confirmed. There are experts from high-level races who have confirmed it. It really is an expert from 10 billion years ago. At that time, he exterminated his own race and killed 3 or 4 experts of the same level. His strength is terrifying to the extreme. Why would an expert from the Invincible domain suddenly want to challenge the Dragon King and kill him? Could it be because of the strength that the Dragon King had displayed previously and attracted the attention of the experts from the Invincible domain? Is he challenging him now? The High Water Demon King our race has an ancestor in the Invincible domain. The High Water Demon King is definitely one of the most terrifying existences in the Invincible domain. He has even nurtured 10 third-order universe sovereigns. Our race's ancestor said that the High Water Demon King can instantly kill third-order universe sovereigns. This is an existence that has lived for more than 20 billion years. Although it hasn't broken through to the universe ruler realm, It is an existence that has lived for over 20 billion years. Although he hasn't broken through to the universe sovereign realm, he was able to kill 3 or 4 experts of the same level 10 billion years ago. He must be even more terrifying now. Not long ago, Dragon Palace's Dragon King led experts to annihilate dozens of pinnacle experts from the 3 races. Dragon Palace's Dragon King also has the strength to instantly kill those of the same level. Did High Water Demon King come out because of the Dragon King's strength and wants to spar with him? This isn't a spar, this is a life and death battle. The Invincible Domain. I only heard of it after Dragon Palace annihilated the experts of the 3 races. After some investigation, that is the place where the old monster seeks to break through. It's definitely a terrifying place. On the AI, countless experts and disciples started discussing. The Invincible Domain was originally not a well-known place. However, after the Dragon Palace had displayed terrifying strength, people compared the Invincible Domain to the technological world. That was when many experts and disciples came to know about the Invincible Domain. After all, it was the place where the old monster sought to break through. It was normal for the weak to not know about it. Not long ago, someone mentioned that an expert from the Invincible Domain was going to engage in a life-and-death battle with the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Chapter 3599. The Demon King Tai Shui of the Invincible Realm was going to have a life-and-death battle with the Dragon King? When this news spread, it caused quite a commotion. This commotion started from within the Great Desolate Continent, but gradually, the experts of the Invincible Realm also learned of it. In fact, the number of experts in the Invincible Domain exceeded the imagination of ordinary people. The Invincible Domain was originally a battlefield between a group of ruler-level experts and giant space beast. In that battle, both sides fought to the death because of the innate divine ability of the space beast and the space left behind by the god nation of the universe ruler realm expert. The experts who died came from the Immortal Empire, a peak race. It was said that over 200 universe ruler realm experts and above died in that battle. Many of them weren't just first-order universe sovereigns, they were extremely powerful existences. More than 100 giant star beasts had died there, a race of giant star beast. Later, due to time, large numbers of desolate beasts were born there. These desolate beasts were attracted by the astral behemoth's flesh and blood. As time passed, the number of desolate beasts in the Invincible Domain increased. Due to the giant space beasts' flesh and blood, they mutated, giving birth to many third-order sovereigns. In the 20 billion years since the Invincible Domain was discovered, as more and more experts entered, the number of third-order sovereigns in the Invincible Domain had reached over 5,000. Among them, 60% were pinnacle race universe venerables. There weren't many peak-level races in the universe, but they weren't few either. There were over a dozen of them. The core disciples of the peak clans only needed time to reach the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm. Some core disciples who could not break through stepped into the Invincible Domain. Fighting and killing. It was to the extent that the powerhouses of these peak races rarely returned to their own races. Breaking through was their greatest obsession. After more than 10 billion years of accumulation, some died in battle, some broke through and left. There were more than 5,000 experts living in seclusion within the Invincible Domain. There were all kinds of races. The patriarchs of the other high-ranking races also lived in seclusion, fighting, and seeking breakthroughs. When the High Water Demon King challenged the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, the clan leaders of these high-level clans would also report the news to their patriarch. Demon King Tai Shui was definitely a top figure in the Invincible Domain. He occupied a territory and even nurtured 10 third-order sovereigns with combat power. His disciples also reached 1 million. He could be considered an anomaly in the Invincible Domain. But there was no doubt about his strength. Many experts knew that this fellow had gone through 2 mutations. If it weren't for the fact that the other races didn't have his cultivation path and bloodline cultivation path, he would have long been recruited by the peak races. A double mutated monster like him was comparable to a mutated purebred divine dragon. Take the Phoenix clan for example. If their clan gave birth to a mutated ice phoenix, and it was stuck at the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm for a long time, then it didn't need to fight in the Invincible Domain to break through. The clan would give it enough resources to help it break through. In fact, it's even possible that an existence stronger than a ruler will personally help you break through. This was the power of mutation. A high-level race that mutated twice was comparable to a peak race's mutation. The High Water Demon King was very strong. In the Invincible domain, only a few lunatics would dare to say that they were stronger than him. Some real lunatics. Some of the old monsters of the Invincible domain received the news from their own disciples, and their eyes lit up. They immediately did a search on the universe AI. When they saw the evaluation of Dragon Palace and the evaluation of Dragon King of Dragon Palace, their faces revealed a look of surprise. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King had the strength to instantly kill a third-order sovereign realm expert. This shocked them greatly. Other than some old monsters who couldn't break through and thought of ways to increase their strength, under normal circumstances, they would prioritize breaking through first. Breaking through to the next realm was much better than thinking of ways to increase their strength. No matter what, this is very interesting. We can go and watch the battle between the High Water Demon King and such a strong opponent. Let's see if we can comprehend something. An extremely old man muttered to himself as he looked at the information of his disciples. Hey, Brother Arrowmang, take a look at the news from our fairy clan. The High Water Goblin King wants to challenge the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. The High Water Goblin King's strength is very frightening. What's even more interesting is that the Dragon Palace's Dragon King has our race's companion spirit. In a void forest in the Invincible domain, all sorts of trees were rooted in the void, and it looked very chaotic. An elf spoke to an elf with a bow and arrow on his back. Heh! The High Water Demon King is challenging someone outside, and the opponent has our companion spirit. Isn't that a companion spirit? On the opposite side, the middle-aged elf named Arrowmang revealed a surprised look when he heard this. What did a companion spirit mean? To the elf race, having a companion spirit was equivalent to a mutated expert of other races. Definitely a royal elf. If he had a companion spirit, the queen of the elf race would personally help him to break through. Yes, another lucky fellow has obtained the favor of a master companion elf, and our side clan has even helped him with some matters. He is the last hope of the Divine Dragon clan. Shall we go and take a look at his strength? The elf said. Let's go. The High Water Demon King has mutated twice, and his strength is definitely terrifying. However, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace has our companion spirit, so he's definitely not weak. Let's go and watch this battle. Arrowmang did not hesitate at all, and the two disappeared immediately. They were not the only elves. Elves from other places in the Invincible domain were also rushing over with great interest. Not only them, but many experts in the Invincible domain had also heard the news, such as the experts from other pinnacle races. In the Invincible domain, the experts from the pinnacle races had a good relationship with their own kind, and they would communicate with each other. Therefore, the experts from other pinnacle races immediately rushed over. An existence like the High Water Demon King was a pinnacle expert in the Invincible domain. In a battle between experts of such a level, they might be able to comprehend something and achieve breakthroughs. To them, this was not just a show to watch. Because the High Water Demon King had challenged the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, many old monsters came out of the Invincible domain and rushed to the Dragon Palace. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace located in the water of the heavens, Wang Xian was shocked when he heard the news. High Water Demon King? The pinnacle expert of the Invincible domain? An old monster from billions of years ago? What was that? Why did he challenge me? Was he here to send resources to me? Chapter 3600. As for the Invincible domain, Wang Xian had only learned about it recently. That was the place where old monsters gathered. That was the place where the truly strong live. As for the exact number of experts inside, the disciples of ordinary forces had no idea. The universe AI also didn't have a clear answer. However, that was a place where a group of old monsters wanted to break through. How could a group of old monsters be weak? Wang Xian turned on the universe AI and did some research on Tai Shui Demon King. Information about the Tai Shui Demon King from over 10 billion years ago was presented before Wang Xian. Buzz buzz. At this moment, Wang Xian's universe AI vibrated. He opened it and saw a message from the ancestral dragon lineage's Devil Dragon King, a piece of information about the Invincible domain. The information that the Demon Dragon King gave him was that the former leader of the ancestral dragon had stepped into the Invincible domain, and in the Invincible domain, he challenged a few expert. In the end, when he challenged the fifth expert, he was defeated and left the Invincible domain. The ancestral dragon leader's evaluation of the Invincible domain was, it's not a gathering place for geniuses or Evilders, but a gathering place for a bunch of old monster. A group of old monsters who would do anything to increase their strength. The Demon Dragon King reminded Wang Xian through the AI that he had to be careful. Moreover, the Demon Dragon King said that the ancestral dragon chief once told him that there were several terrifying existences in the Invincible domain. These terrifying existences weren't ordinary powerhouses. One of them was the Tai Shui Demon King who mutated twice. When Wang Xian saw his message, he smiled faintly. Mutated twice? He didn't take this matter seriously at all. What Tai Shui Demon King? What mutated twice? What Invincible domain? In Wang Xian's eyes, they were all trash. That's right, they were all trash. This was his confidence. With his current strength, with the help of the unbeginning sacred wings, he could fight 1 against 3. With the 5 elements grind, he could fight 1 against 6. With the addition of the Dark Ghost Avatar, he could fight 1 against 7. Together with Lingling, they could take on 8 opponents at once. Coupled with the Tai Chi Dragon Plate, this. Sorry, I'm invincible, you can do whatever you want. Now, without more than 3 First Order Universe Sovereigns, Wang Xian felt that he couldn't do anything to him. Speed and defense, the strongest trump card. It's just a bunch of trash who haven't broken through for a long time. Since they don't have the ability to break through, they think of ways to improve their combat strength. Hee. Wang Xian shook his head. They were all trash, and he didn't put them in his eyes at all. Dragon King, did you see what happened to the universe intelligence? Prime Minister Turtle also received the challenge from Demon King Tai Shui to the Dragon King. He's here to deliver resources. Don't take it to heart, said Wang Xian with a smile. In his opinion, Demon King Tai Shui was giving resources to the Dragon Palace. It was indeed a good demonic beast. Putting everything else aside, the Dragon Palace would gain another Third Order Sovereign Realm expert. He hoped that there would be more of such fellows. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle smiled. The current strength of Dragon Palace was already strong enough. After absorbing the resources previously, the number of Third Order Universe Sovereigns in the Dragon Palace had broken past 100. Originally, Bei Shuang could have used more, but 10 of them had the strength of a Third Order Universe Sovereign Realm expert. Thus, he used them to increase Bei Shuang's strength. Right now, North Frost Cosmos was at the pinnacle of the Supremacy Realm, but he could fight against a true Universe Ruler Realm expert. That Demon King Tai Water had accumulated a lot of experience. An expert from billions of years ago? Let's capture Bei Shuang first. The only Frost Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace. The strongest mutant Divine Dragon. As time passed, Wang Xian didn't take the matter of Demon King Tai Shui's challenge to heart. The experts of the Dragon Palace did not take it to heart either. If they wanted to die, the Dragon Palace welcomed them. Time passed quickly. The breakthrough of the Tai Chi Dragon Plate showed Wang Xian how powerful it was. Now, he hoped that the 5 elements grindstone could break through. The breakthrough of the Tai Chi Dragon Plate was achieved after absorbing over 2,000 innate spiritual treasures of the light and darkness attribute. As the 5 elements grindstone had absorbed more innate spiritual treasures in the past, it needed to absorb about 1,500 innate spiritual treasures of the 5 elements attributes to break through. It would be difficult to gather more than 1,500 innate spiritual treasures unless he annihilated another 2 or 3 powerful races. Secondly, his current enemies were the Gowls, Black Fog Spirit Race, and Shepherd Tribe. Other than the Shepherd Tribe, which had a mix of attributes, the rest were all of the darkness attribute. This was not good. I have to find a chance to annihilate these 3 races, then use the resources to exchange for innate spiritual treasures of the 5 elements attributes. When the 5 elements grindstone breaks through, my strength will increase exponentially. At that time, I will be able to defeat a first-order universe sovereign expert. Wang Xian thought to himself as a smile appeared on his face. Dragon King, there are traces of some experts around our Dragon Palace. These experts are all third-order universe sovereigns. Half a year passed quickly, and Prime Minister Turtle suddenly came to report. Heh! Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard the news. Everyone knew that the Eternal Heaven River was the territory of the Dragon Palace. Under normal circumstances, no experts would wander around the Eternal Heaven River. Appearing in someone else's territory was equivalent to provoking the entire race. Now that there were third-order universe sovereigns around the Dragon Palace, and they were lingering around, the Dragon Palace had no choice but to pay attention. How many experts are there? What are they doing around our territory? Wang Xian asked. I don't know for now. They didn't venture too deep into our territory, but we found experts from the fairy race, as well as other experts from the pinnacle races, Prime Minister Turtle said solemnly. This made him raise his eyebrows slightly. Experts from the pinnacle races? What were they doing around the Dragon Palace? And experts from the fairy race? The fairy race was considered friendly to the Dragon Palace. Why were they around? Reporting to the Dragon King, Prime Minister Turtle. At this moment, a halberd dragon guard flew over and reported, Dragon King, there are 5 experts flying towards us. Their auras are terrifying. Heh! Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard his subordinates report. 5. Let's go. Wang Xian gestured to Prime Minister Turtle and immediately flew out. At the same time, the leader of the halberd dragon guards, roving Yaksha, a dozen purebred divine dragons, and Bei Shuang flew out from the Dragon Palace. Halt! This is the territory of the Dragon Palace. Just as they flew out, the voice of the halberd dragon guard could be heard. Wang Xian looked ahead and saw 3 angels, a blurry figure, and a terrifying figure with fangs flying over. When Wang Xian saw these figures, he frowned slightly. 3 angels. Dark Angel. He could recognize them at a glance. That blurry figure, if he wasn't wrong, was an expert from the Nether race. As for the human-like expert with fangs and wings, he should be a devil. Those who like the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System, please collect. The Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System updates the fastest. Chapter 3601. Angel, Devil, Nether Clan. The experts from the 3 pinnacle races were all at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy realm. All of them exuded a terrifying aura. This aura wasn't something that the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 6 races could compare to. Dark Angel, Devil, Nether Clan. This was a strange combination. Hehe, we're just here to take a look. We have no other intentions. That's right. We're here to take a look and find a good spot to watch the upcoming battle. The Dark Angel, Devil, and Nether Clan experts looked at the halberd dragon guards. When they sensed Wang Xian and his group flying out, they looked at them casually. Watch the battle. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he heard them. Dragon King, they might be experts from the Invincible domain. At the side, Prime Minister Turtle glanced at them with a contemplative look on his face. Under normal circumstances, angels, devils, and Nether Clan wouldn't mix together. These 3 pinnacle races weren't close. Now that the experts from these 3 races had come together, it was clearly abnormal. There was only one explanation. They were experts from the Invincible domain. The Invincible domain was special. It wasn't impossible for them to mix together. This is the territory of the Dragon Palace. It's not a place for you to watch the battle and roam around. Wang Xian stared at them, especially the 3 Dark Angels, and said emotionlessly. The Dark Angels were also from the Angel clan. Although they had 2 kings, they were still united. After all, there was another existence above them. It was impossible for the 2 races to have any differences. Oh! How dare you reject us? A female Dark Angel in the middle stared at Wang Xian and smirked. Interesting. No wonder you're the pinnacle experts from the mainland. I wonder how many moves you can exchange with Tai Shui Demon King. Heh! Those are guys from the Angel clan, Devil clan, and Nether clan. I think they're you Cow and the rest. It's them. They're a little arrogant. How dare they enter the territory of the Dragon Palace? The Dragon Palace has over 50 Third-Order Universe sovereigns after all. Maybe they think that the Dragon Palace won't dare to attack them because of their strength. Well, there's no need for the Dragon Palace to become enemies with them. Let's go. The elders in the clan have said that the Dragon Palace is the last hope of the Divine Dragon Clan. They want us to be on good terms with them. In the distance, a dozen experts of the Elf clan were floating in the air. They were watching the situation in front of the Dragon Palace. They moved and flew toward the Dragon Palace. Leave this place. Upon hearing the words of the female Dark Angel, Wang Xian's expression did not change in the slightest. The other party was a member of the Angel clan, and he and the Angel clan were enemies. How could he give the other party any face? Do I have to invite him in? Just because they were the top race? No such thing exist. What if we don't leave? Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, the devil revealed a mocking expression. This is the Dragon King. Can you kill someone of the same level in an instant? TSK, he should be much stronger than me. Arcas, I'm stronger than you, yet you still dare to be arrogant here? Aren't you afraid that the Dragon Palace will annihilate you? As soon as he finished speaking, a dozen elves flew over. Among them, some carried bows and arrows on their backs, while others held magic staffs in their hands. Seeing the dozen elves, Wang Xian's eyes flickered. They were slightly different from the elves he had seen in the Elf clan. The main difference was in their temperament. These dozen elves had lost some of their elegance and calmness, and gained some menacing aura and coldness. However, the group of elves still cast friendly gazes at the Dragon Palace. Everyone from the Elf clan, welcome. Prime Minister Turtle looked at them, cupped his hands, and welcomed them. They could still tell who was friend and foe. Oh, Elf clan, I heard that you guys are protecting this small force. Without your protection, the Dragon Palace would have ceased to exist a long time ago, an expert from the Angel clan said. Does the Dragon Palace still need our protection? It was the Angel clan that wanted to annihilate the Dragon Palace, and your lackeys have been getting beaten up by the Dragon Palace. It seems like you guys are here to find trouble with the Dragon Palace. Do you want us to spar with you and send you on your way? An elf stared at them and spoke plainly. He swept his gaze across the group of experts from the Dragon Palace and added, the Dragon Palace might be able to annihilate you guys without our help. The Dragon Palace can do it. This was the second time Wang Xian heard the experts from the Elf clan saying that they wanted the Dragon Palace to annihilate the other party. He was curious and asked the experts from the Elf clan, in the Invincible domain, as long as you are not an expert from the Universe Lord Realm, you can kill as you please, regardless of your race. All the pinnacle races won't say anything. Not only will they not say anything, but they won't even interfere. After all, if they interfere, it will be a disgrace to the pinnacle races. In the outside world, experts from the Invincible domain don't just belong to the pinnacle races, but also the Invincible domain. In other words, if they provoke other races first, the other races can kill them, and the pinnacle races won't say anything. On the contrary, experts from pinnacle races like us from the Invincible domain can challenge those of the same level, but we can't kill indiscriminately. As for the experts from the advanced races in the Invincible domain, like Demon King Tai Shui, they don't have this restriction. An elf explained to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly when he heard that. This did not conflict with the rules of pinnacle races. To put it bluntly, experts from pinnacle races who entered the Invincible domain were trash in the eyes of pinnacle races. Wouldn't they be trash if they didn't break through after such a long time? The pinnacle races didn't take these disciples seriously. If that's the case, I'll give the 5 of you 2 seconds to get out of the Dragon Palace's territory. Wang Xian said to them directly. As soon as his voice fell, the group of elves revealed astonished expressions. The 3 dark angels, the devils, and the experts from the undead clan were also taken aback. They had not expected Wang Xian to change so drastically. After receiving this news, he didn't care about them at all. This was simply a form of contempt for them. After recovering from the shock, the elves revealed smiles on their faces. No wonder our great elf lords value the Dragon Palace so much. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is pretty good. An expert elf couldn't help but chuckle. They liked Wang Xian's style of doing things. Ha ha ha, arrogant. How arrogant. No wonder Demon King Tai Shui would challenge you. Your dragon palace is really arrogant. Upon hearing Wang Xian, Demon Arxu's eyes emitted a violent murderous intent. This terrifying murderous intent soared into the sky. Chapter 3602. Arxu's murderous intent erupted without any warning. The terrifying murderous intent caused the surrounding seawater to surge. Arxu, the three dark angels, and the expert from the undead tribe might not be as strong as Tai Shui Demon King. However, ordinary third-order universe sovereigns couldn't be compared to them. They had lived for a long time and were confident that they could kill two experts of the same level. It wouldn't be a problem for one of them to deal with 3 to 4 experts of the same level, not to mention when the 5 of them joined forces. That would be even more terrifying. Is there something wrong with these people's brains? Wang Xian couldn't help but ask when he saw Arxu the devil unleashing his aura. He was astonished and couldn't help but ask. This was the entrance of the Dragon Palace. The territory of the Dragon Palace. How could they be so arrogant? When the elves heard Wang Xian's words, they were puzzled. Were they arrogant? Wasn't it normal? The 5 of them were old monsters from the Invincible domain with the physique and bloodline of the pinnacle races. When the 5 of them joined forces, they could basically do whatever they wanted in the mainland and not in the technological world. Kill them. As soon as Wang Xian finished his sentence, he sensed that the 3 dark angels and the expert from the undead tribe were getting restless. As soon as he finished his sentence, the sky around the Dragon Palace changed. Suddenly, it seemed to have become a new world. Huge dragon pillars appeared in the surroundings. There were a total of 45 dragon pillars and a divine dragon was entrenched on each dragon pillar. On the body of this divine dragon, there were also thick chains wrapped around it. When everything started to change, the 45 divine dragons moved. Without any hesitation, they attacked the 3 dark angels, the devil, and the expert from the undead tribe at a terrifying speed. This sudden and terrifying change caused Arxu, who was bursting with murderous intent, to freeze. His eyes widened as he stared at the surroundings in horror. Oh no, this is an array formation. There are a lot of array formations here. When the 3 dark angels saw this sudden change, their expressions also changed drastically, and panic appeared in their eyes. Only the people from the Dragon Palace were speechless as they looked at the 5 pinnacle race expert. They couldn't understand why these old monsters who had lived for so long would be so stupid. This shouldn't be happening. Generally speaking, which old monster who had lived for billions of years wasn't proficient in scheming and extremely cunning? These 5 people were simply idiots. Being arrogant in the Dragon Palace's territory, there was no need for the experts of the Dragon Palace to take action. Just the array formation that they had set up was enough to destroy it. Even if they were old monsters, they should never underestimate a spell wizard. Even an old monster like you is no match for an ordinary spell formation sorcerer who has set up a spell formation. Once the heavenly array was set up, he wouldn't be afraid even if 10 third-order sovereigns fought him. This was the terror of Magi. Take the lair of the Black Tower for example. If Archangel Gabriel fought him there, the result would definitely be Gabriel's death. The Dragon Palace now had 8 witch dragons that had reached the peak of the universe supremacy realm. Coupled with the heavenly formation, most importantly, this was the lair of the Dragon Palace. Naturally, the surrounding arrays were extremely terrifying. Weren't these 5 fellows courting death? They are too careless. There are many powerful wizards in the Dragon Palace. The dozen fairy powerhouses pursed their lips when they saw this scene. The array formation that appeared in an instant was too terrifying. Even they did not expect the Dragon Palace to have such a terrifying array. No wonder Arcas and the others were so arrogant. The combined strength of the 5 of them was very strong. Even though they knew that the Dragon King could instantly kill the same level as them, and that there were over 50 universe sovereign realm experts in the Dragon Palace, they could still escape if they couldn't win. They were still confident that they could escape. However, they no longer had that confidence now. The Dragon Palace's array formation was too terrifying. Shit, block and break this array formation. Why does the Dragon Palace have so many terrifying arrays? The 3 dark angels revealed looks of shock as they roared in anger. They spread their 10 pairs of wings and blocked the attacks of the 45 divine dragons. Boom, boom, boom. However, in the next instant, the divine dragons flew towards them. The power of each divine dragon was comparable to a full-force attack from a third-order sovereign realm expert. In that instant, they were facing the attacks of 45 third-order sovereigns. Furthermore, they were unable to dodge the attacks. Not good, not good. The Dark Race powerhouse revealed a look of shock when he saw this scene. His body shuddered as 4 dark ghost doppelgangers appeared around him. Each doppelganger exuded a terrifying aura. The strength of an expert from the Dark Race was related to the strength and number of their doppelgangers. And he had 4 doppelgangers, and each of them had reached the peak of his original body. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the 4 dark ghost doppelgangers. Trap that expert from the Dark Race, he said to the heavenly formation behind him. Yes, Dragon King. Terrifying attacks. The chains on 10 of the 45 divine dragons shot towards the expert from the Dark Race and his doppelgangers. No. The expert from the Dark Race was in despair when he saw the 10 divine dragons charging towards him. 10 divine dragons. He couldn't hold them off. Boom, boom, boom. On the side, Shenron's attack had already landed on the 3 angels and the demon. Terrifying explosions reverberated in the space. The 9 elemental energies prevented them from seeing the situation clearly, but they could clearly sense the vitality of the 3 angels and the devil plummeting rapidly. After a round of attacks, what surprised Wang Xian was that their vitality did not completely vanish. Swish, swish, swish. Behind, Mao Zedong and the 4 arrow dragons took out their bows and arrows. Terrifying arrows flew towards the inside. Ah! Blood-curdling screams rang out as the 3 dark angels and the demon were killed. The expert from the Nether clan was completely trapped. Immediately, 10 experts from the Dragon Palace flew over and captured him. Arrow dragon species. The elves looked over and their eyes lit up when they saw Mao Zedong and the rest. The arrow dragon species was one of the few existences in the universe that could match the archers of the elf race. Of course, in the eyes of the elf race, their archery skills were invincible in the universe. Because the arrow dragon species was strong in long-range attacks, but not close combat. In a real fight, the arrow dragon species would not allow the elf archers to get close to them. Once they got close, the arrow dragon species would definitely die. Dead. There are sorcerers in the Dragon Palace. At least 10 powerful sorcerers. After taking a few glances at the arrow dragon species, they looked towards the center. 3 dark angels and a devil were killed just like that. And the expert from the Dark Race was captured alive. The entire process took no more than 3 seconds. Those who like the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System, please collect. The Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System updates the fastest. Chapter 3603, 3 dark angels were killed, a devil was killed, and an expert from the Nether tribe was captured alive. It was a dramatic scene in such a short time, but this dramatic scene often happened. 5 experts died because of their arrogance. They had stayed in the invincible domain for a long time. In order to break through, they had honed their heart of invincibility, but they lacked awe. At the same time, they had underestimated the Dragon Palace. The array disappeared, and the expert from the Nether tribe was suppressed into the Dragon Palace by the experts of the Dragon Palace. Where are Aksu Cow and the other 4 guys? Why did they suddenly disappear? Was that an array just now? The array set up by the Dragon Palace? Where are the 3 dark angels and the devil from the Nether tribe? Were they killed by the elves? No, this is not the invincible domain. The elves can't kill them easily. Around the Dragon Palace, there were many experts of the invincible domain who had come to watch the battle between Demon King Taishui and the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. At this time, there were at least 100 of them. They naturally saw the 3 dark angels and the devil from the Nether Ghost flying toward the Dragon Palace. Especially the murderous aura that erupted from Demon Aksu, it was obvious that there was a conflict. But the Dragon Palace was enveloped by the array, and in a few seconds, Aksu and the others disappeared. The Dragon Palace doesn't care where you come from or how strong you are. You are forbidden to step within 2 billion kilometers of the Dragon Palace, or you will die together with the 3 angels, the devil, and the expert from the Nether tribe. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded around the Dragon Palace and entered everyone's ears. When the experts of the Invincible domain heard this voice, their faces were filled with astonishment. What? Arksu Cow and the others were killed? They are not weak. It's an array. This Dragon Palace has powerful sorcerers. TSK, it seems that this Dragon Palace is not simple. No wonder Demon King Tai Shui would challenge the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. Amazing. They killed Arksu and the other 4 experts in such a short time. This Dragon Palace is very strong. I wonder if the Dragon King of Dragon Palace has made a move. With the terrifying array and the strength of the Dragon King of Dragon Palace, it is normal that they killed Arksu and the others. Some old monsters of the Invincible domain who knew Arksu and the other 2 Dark Angels discussed calmly. As for their deaths, this group of old monsters did not take it to heart. Arkas and the other 4 were not weak in the Invincible domain, but they were definitely not strong. Compared to the top experts of the Invincible domain, like Demon King Tai Shui, there was a huge gap. However, they fully acknowledged the strength of the Dragon Palace. Among the old monsters of the Invincible domain who had come to watch the battle, there weren't many who were stronger than Arkas and the others. After the Dragon Palace displayed such a powerful strength, they retreated obediently. After all, this was the territory of the Dragon Palace. Their presence here was considered a provocation. Even if they were experts from the Peak clans, the Dragon Palace could still kill them. The group of experts consciously retreated to the back. Watching the battle? I can't drag myself into it. Ladies and gentlemen of the Elf clan, please come to our Dragon Palace. After dealing with the 5 reckless fellows, Wang Xian extended an invitation to the experts from the side race. Haha, alright, then we'll be bothering you. The dozen or so elves nodded. Wang Xian smiled and led them in. He got the Dragon Palace to prepare some food for them. They chatted for another half a day. Dragon King, among these dozen or so elves, some of them have strong murderous intent and some have strong obsessions. No wonder the old monsters in the Invincible domain have gone crazy. They are terrifying and crazy, Prime Minister Turtle said to Wang Xian as the dozen or so elves were brought around by Roving Girl. Indeed, their minds have changed. Wang Xian nodded. This group of elves was different from what he had seen. If the experts of the Elf clan were like this, the experts from the dark attribute races would be even crazier. Time can wear away everything. He couldn't help but comment. Even if you were as strong as a pinnacle universe supremacy, your mind would change if you didn't break through. Even if you were as strong as a universe lord, your life would also come to an end. Even if you were as strong as a universe lord, you would still die. With so many experts from the Invincible domain gathered around, it seems like Demon King Tai Shui is here. Send the experts from the Dragon Palace to warn the surroundings. Wang Xian reminded Prime Minister Turtle. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Bring that expert from the Nether clan here. Wang Xian ordered one of his subordinates in the Dragon King Hall. Yes, Dragon King. Soon, 10 Third Order Universe sovereigns from the Dragon Palace came in with the expert from the Nether clan. Wang Xian waved at them and came to the front of the expert from the Nether clan. With a wave of his arm, he broke the restriction around him. Wang. However, just as he was about to resist, the Tai Chi dragon plate spun around him. Ah, what's this? What's this? The expert from the Nether clan looked at the Tai Chi dragon plate around him with fear in his eyes. From what he could sense, the Tai Chi dragon plate could easily destroy him. Wang Xian controlled the Tai Chi dragon plate and a wave of dragon might crushed towards him. Ah! This caused him to scream in agony. Soul Search. With a thought, Wang Xian used the power of Soul Search. Wang, get lost. Heh! Wang Xian frowned when the Soul Search failed. The experts from the Nether clan are spirits. It's normal for the Soul Search to fail. The fastest way for the Nether clan to evolve is through devouring, he murmured as the Nether Ghost Doppelganger appeared beside him. Nether Ghost Doppelganger? How is this possible? How can you have the Nether Ghost Doppelganger? The expert from the Nether clan exclaimed in disbelief. However, Wang Xian ignored him. Devour him. With a thought, Wang Xian directed his doppelganger to devour the expert from the Nether clan. With the suppression of the Tai Chi dragon plate, he had no way to resist. Ah! Screams rang out incessantly. Soul search. Soul search. Wang Xian kept trying to soul search. Finally, when the Nether ghost doppelganger devoured half of his body, the soul search succeeded. It's a pity that I don't have the constitution of the Nether clan. The energy devoured can only be stored by the Nether ghost doppelganger. It's not very useful. Wang Xian murmured. The Nether ghost doppelganger of the Nether clan needed to be fed with resources. Just like this expert from the Nether clan before him. He had to consume a large amount of resources to nurture 4 Nether ghost doppelganger. It could be said that the difficulty for others was 1, but for him, the difficulty was 4 times that of others. There were disadvantages to having good friends. Most experts from the Nether clan would nurture 2 or 3 doppelgangers. It was rare to find 4. Besides, the embryo of the Nether ghost doppelganger was not easy to obtain. It was a rare and precious treasure. Chapter 3604. The situation of Wang Xian's Nether ghost doppelganger was a little different from the Nether clan. The energy of Wang Xian's Nether ghost doppelganger came from the progenitor tree. When Wang Xian advanced, the Nether ghost doppelganger would absorb the energy of the progenitor tree and advance. In other words, there was no need to consume any additional resources. It was also because of this that he had captured this expert of the Nether race alive and kept him alive. The soul assimilation technique was successfully cast, and a wave of information was transmitted into his mind. However, at this moment, he felt a strange energy preventing him from investigating any further. Moreover, the Nether race expert's body began to distort. The information that he had investigated had also begun to become chaotic. Summon your divine kingdom. When Wang Xian saw this, he quickly gave the order. Buzz. At this moment, a strange holy kingdom slowly appeared in the Dragon King Hall. After summoning the God Nation, Wang Xian could no longer check any information. Is this the inheritance protection of a peak race? Or is it an ability unique to the Nether clan? Wang Xian murmured. When he invaded the mind of the expert from the undead clan, the energy in his body automatically protected him and destroyed his consciousness. Looking at the ball of energy that had lost its consciousness, Wang Xian shook his head and looked at the God Nation at the side. Although he did not obtain any information, his main goal this time was to obtain some treasures. The dragon eyes swept across the entire God Kingdom, and soon, numerous treasures flew out. Darkness elemental divine fruits and herbs, some special treasures, and some carnate spiritual treasures. He didn't have any carnate cardinal treasures. Other than that, there was something else that Wang Xian was familiar with. Dark ghost. A dark ghost that had yet to be raised. When Wang Xian took it out, a strange child without a physical body appeared. Ha ha ha. He let out a creepy voice and stared at Wang Xian with his blood-red eyes. With the previous experience, Wang Xian brought Dark Ghost to the front of the progenitor tree. Just like last time, this little nether ghost flew in front of the ancestral tree's soul-returning tree branch. Its blood-red eyes stared at a soul-returning fruit, and it opened its mouth to bite it. Buzz. The soul-returning fetus fruit entered his mouth, causing his body to emit a grey energy. But just then, a message from the progenitor tree came. According to the progenitor tree's information, the current progenitor tree could only raise the strength of one dark ghost without any burden. In other words, if Wang Xian leveled up, Dark Ghost would also level up. But he could only support one. In the future, the progenitor tree would grow bigger and be able to support more. But now, if Wang Xian wanted more doppelgangers, he would have to provide the resources himself. This allowed him to gain a slight understanding in his heart. The progenitor tree is the most important. I naturally can't delay the progenitor tree's growth for a mere dark ghost clone. He muttered to himself as he had the soul-returning tree branch wrap around the dark ghost. Ah! Nether Ghost let out an ear-piercing shriek as the soul-returning would slowly wrapped around him, quickly wrapping him up completely. A human-shaped soul-returning fetus fruit was formed. This figure was identical to Dark Ghost, but it was 10 times smaller. It was exactly the same as the last time. Wang Xian swallowed the devil ghost soul reincarnation fruit and had an idea. Buzz. 2 dark ghosts appeared around him. One was identical to him, while the other was a miniature version of him. The small one's aura was also very weak. Void God Emperor level. It just so happens that I still have that dark ghost clone to devour. Besides, my other dark ghost clone still has energy stored within it. I can transfer it to the smaller dark ghost clone. He immediately began. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Soon, the smaller dark ghost clone began to grow stronger. The rate of growth was extremely fast. However, this growth was also very taxing. After devouring the dark ghost clan expert with 4 dark ghost clones, Wang Xian's other dark ghost clone reached its peak. But even so, this speed of improvement was still very terrifying. It was no wonder that the Dark Ghost clan was the only race that didn't get along with each other. Devouring, fighting, killing, everything was for the sake of becoming stronger. The speed at which they grew stronger was too fast. Hee, with one more Dark Ghost clone, I've grown stronger. Wang Xian chuckled. He was very satisfied with his gains this time. The current him couldn't be any stronger. He was invincible below the universe god realm. How lonely was it to be invincible? He chuckled. With a wave of his arm, the scenery around the Dragon Palace appeared. He could also make use of this opportunity to understand the experts from the other peak races and the invincible domain. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. While Wang Xian was checking out the experts from the invincible domain around the Dragon Palace, over 70 figures were leaving at a terrifying speed in a city. Some of the surrounding experts and disciples couldn't even see them clearly. We'll reach the eternal river of heaven in 5 hours, the old lair of the Dragon Palace. Shenglong King and the rest looked at the Black Tower Sorcerer, Taishui Demon King, and the old scholar in the center and said, "Ha ha ha, it's been a long time since I fought with an expert. I hope the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace won't let me down." Taishui Demon King was still laughing arrogantly. "The 3 of you, the Dragon Palace isn't to be underestimated. The Dragon Palace has a lady in red who can withstand the attacks from me and my 8 subordinates and even gain the upper hand. In addition, the Dragon Palace has powerful array sorcerers. That's their old lair, and the defense of the array sorcerers is terrifying." The Patriarch of the Giant of Light reminded them. He couldn't help but glance at the Black Tower Sorcerer. From his aura, the Patriarch of the Giant of Light could sense that he was also a sorcerer. Array. With the Black Tower Sorcerer around. As long as it's not a Universe Lord's array, it can be easily broken. When the old scholar heard this, he smiled and said calmly, "I can break an ordinary Universe Lord's array too." The Black Tower Sorcerer said plainly as soon as he finished his sentence. His expression was calm as if he was describing something normal. That's good, that's good." The eyes of the Sacred Dragon King and the Shepherd Tribe Leader were filled with excitement when they heard this. "Haha, I'll kill that Dragon King in a minute." Taishui Demon King laughed maniacally again. "It's good that the 3 of you are confident." The current Patriarch of the Light Insect Tribe said with a smile, "Don't worry, with our strength, we won't have a problem against over 70 of you." The old scholar waved the fan made of angel feathers in his hand and said nonchalantly. His words caused the pupils of Shenglong King and the rest to shrink slightly. They exchanged looks of disbelief and disbelief. 3 people against over 70 of them? Wasn't that too arrogant? Only 3 First-Order sovereigns would be able to do that, right? Yes. However, the more confident they were, the more excited Shenglong King and the rest were. Chapter 3605, Hum Hum Hum. In front of the Eternal Heaven River, the Black Tower Sorcerers, High Water Demon King, Old Scholar, and the Holy Dragon King were rapidly approaching the Dragon Palace. Seeing that they were about to reach the Dragon Palace, the Giant of Light Tribe Leader, the Shepherd God's Tribe Leader, and the Holy Dragon King exchanged a look. "My lords, according to the information we received, the Dragon Palace hasn't made any moves yet. I think they don't take Lord Taishui Demon King's challenge too seriously. In order to prevent them from running away as soon as they see us, I suggest Mr. Black Tower Wizard and Mr. Old Scholar stay behind and don't go there. There must be a spell formation at the Dragon Palace. The Black Tower Sorcerers can secretly break the spell formation of the Dragon Palace. After that, we can kill our way over and completely suppress the Dragon Palace. The Holy Dragon King suggested to the Black Tower sorcerers, High Water Demon King, and Old Scholar. I don't care. Up to you. But I want the dragon head of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. I also want the dragon meat on his body, High Water Demon King said nonchalantly. Sure. The Black Tower sorcerers did not reject the Holy Dragon King's suggestion. They needed a strategy to destroy the Dragon Palace. If they escaped and the third prince blamed them, they would have to bear the responsibility. They could not afford to offend the third prince. No problem. The old scholar hesitated for a moment before nodding his head as well. All right, my lords, let's slow down a little. The Holy Dragon King said. There's no need to slow down. If it weren't for you bunch of trash, I would have arrived half a year ago. High Water Demon King said loudly. His speed suddenly increased tremendously. He was no weaker than a true universe lord. The Holy Dragon King and the others did not look too good when they saw this. Old Scholar and the others smiled faintly. If not for the Holy Dragon King and the others' slow speed, they would have arrived long ago. The experts from the Invincible domain who had already arrived had arrived earlier because they were much faster than the Holy Dragon King and the others. High Water Demon King's speed increased exponentially. He flew toward the Dragon Palace at a terrifying speed. He did not conceal his aura at all. Waves of terrifying aura surged toward the surroundings. His bull-like head glowed with blue light. Boom, boom, boom. This place was very close to the eternal river of heaven. In less than a minute, he arrived above the eternal river of heaven. What was that? What a terrifying aura. Demon King Tai Shui is here. Hiss, Tai Shui Demon King, it's Tai Shui Demon King. He's here. Will this Dragon Palace's Dragon King accept the challenge? This is an old monster from 10 billion years ago, an expert of the Invincible domain. I heard that the experts in the Invincible domain often kill each other in order to break through. Their strength is terrifying. When Demon King Tai Shui rushed over, some of the Invincible realm experts around the Heaven Eternal River looked over in surprise. Demon King Tai Shui was definitely the #1 expert in the Invincible domain. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, hurry up and come out to die. Ha ha ha, I'm here to challenge you today. Have you washed your neck clean? Demon King High Water rushed over, and the surrounding seawater churned with him. He stared at the underwater Dragon Palace and roared loudly. Is this the power of the High Water Demon King? How terrifying. Hiss, look at the water of the Heaven Eternal River. It's under his control. This is too terrifying. Oh my god, a few days ago, I sensed that the surrounding experts were very terrifying. Those should be experts from the Invincible domain. I thought they were sick enough, but this one is even more unfathomable. What the heck, this aura, when an archangel from the angel clan fought with the giant beast of the Heaven Eternal River, I felt that the archangel's aura was only this powerful. The surrounding Heaven Eternal River was getting closer and closer as Demon King Tai Shui announced his challenge. Some experts and disciples from other clans also came to watch. When they arrived, they sensed that there were many terrifying existences around the Heaven Eternal River. These existences made them tremble. But compared to Demon King Tai Shui who was rushing over, this Demon King Tai Shui was even more terrifying. This reminded some of the terrifying existences that they also felt in the Heaven Eternal River, the Archangel. The power of the Archangel back then was only this powerful. Is this the old monster of the Invincible domain? Some experts and disciples from other clans murmured. He's here. At the same time, in the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, he sensed the aura coming from outside and twitched his eyebrows slightly. Wang Xian had also obtained some information about Demon King Tai Shui from the Dozen Elf. An expert who had gone through 2 mutations was extremely terrifying. His body moved and he immediately flew out. At the same time, the experts of the Dragon Palace also flew out when they heard the arrogant voice. At the place where the Dragon Queens were cultivating, Bei Shuang and the rest were chatting and playing with the mistresses. When they heard this, a fierce glint flashed in their eyes. Her master was not someone that a puny demon king could challenge. Not far away, Ling Honggu, who was chatting with Xiao Yu and Fan Qinglan, also had a red glow in her eyes. She signaled them and flew out immediately. Wang Xian flew out of the dragon palace and looked ahead. Dragon King, be careful. A dozen elves flew over and reminded him. Of course, the Dragon King can choose not to accept the challenge. You can use the formation or let the experts of the Dragon Palace gang up on him and kill him. But be careful of him summoning his descendants. An elf suggested with a smile. Wang Xian nodded with a smile as he stared at the figure in front of him. Rumble. Tai Shui Demon King landed in the water in front of him. His body enlarged rapidly. In just a few seconds, his size had increased by a few thousand times. Get out, you little dragon brat. Do you want me to call you that again? Tai Shui Demon King continued to roar arrogantly at the Dragon Palace. Rumble. At the same time, he raised his fist. The surrounding water of the Eternal Sky River gathered towards his fist as he punched at the Dragon Palace. Wherever the terrifying torrent of the fist went, the river water flowed to the side. This attack was terrifying. Wang Xian looked over and frowned slightly. This Tai Shui Demon King was too arrogant. He had to die. Courting death. How dare you challenge our Dragon King? Puny Demon King, how dare you come to our Dragon Palace? Courting death. Ugly freak, I curse your entire family. The experts of the Orokai Dragon Palace who flew over from behind cursed angrily. You're not qualified to challenge my master. At this time, Bei Shuang shouted with murderous intent as she looked at the terrifying torrent of water fist. She also clenched her fist and punched forward. With a wave of her hand, everything in front of her was frozen. It was as though they had entered a world of ice in an instant. Master, let me fight him. Bei Shuang appeared beside Wang Xian and said. Chapter 3606, Her? Bei Shuang made a move and challenged Wang Xian. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. All right. You have just broken through. Train yourself. I also want to see how strong the old monsters of the Invincible domain are. Wang Xian did not reject. The punch from Tai Shui Demon King was indeed strong. It had definitely reached the standard of a universe lord. However, Bei Shuang's move had directly blocked it. Besides, Bei Shuang had just broken through. It was a good opportunity for her to train. He would let Tai Shui Demon King be the whetstone for his disciple. If Bei Shuang could not handle it, Wang Xian would kill her. This is. What a strong aura and freezing power. I heard that there's a lady in red from the Dragon Palace who also has the strength to kill a third-order universe lord instantly. Is she the one? This lady from the Dragon Palace is terrifying. But she seems to be different from the description on the universe AI. The dozen or so elves were shocked to see North Frost blocking the High Water Demon King's attack at close range. Is she the disciple of the Dragon King? The other expert from the Dragon Palace mentioned on the universe AI? Puny Demon King, how dare you act so presumptuously in front of our Dragon Palace? You're not qualified to challenge my master. You'll have to get past me first. Bei Shuang was excited to see Wang Xian nodding his head. She made a move and charged towards Tai Shui Demon King. Roar. Roar. At the same time, she raised her head and roared. She instantly transformed into a dazzling frost divine dragon. Under the illumination of the light, she was as beautiful as a diamond. But more than that, she was powerful and terrifying. Variant Divine Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon, Variant Divine Dragon. The elves were shocked to see the transformation of Frost Divine Dragon. A variant divine dragon was comparable to the royal family of the elf. This was the pinnacle of the pinnacle races. Frost Divine Dragon, Variant Divine Dragon, Frost Divine Dragon. There's a Variant Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace? Isn't there only the Dragon King and a lady in red from the Dragon Palace? The disciple of the Dragon King, a Frost Divine Dragon at the pinnacle of the Universe Lord realm. Frost Divine Dragon is definitely a terrifying existence. When Bei Shuang rushed over, the group of old monsters from the Invincible domain also had shocked expressions on their faces. Even some of the old monsters from the Peak clans had looks of envy in their eyes. When the Divine Dragon clan was at its peak, a variant Divine Dragon would definitely become an overlord. Dragon King's disciple? The Dragon Palace not only has the Dragon King and that lady in red, but also a powerful mutated divine dragon. The Dragon Palace's attack on the three major races was too far away and the energy was too terrifying. Therefore, the news of the mutated divine dragon was not spread. Now that Bei Shuang had appeared, many experts and disciples who had come to watch the battle were shocked. The strength of the Dragon Palace was much more terrifying than they had imagined. The disciple of the Dragon King? You're courting death, little dragon brat. Are you looking down on me? Seeing a frost divine dragon charging toward him, demon monarch Tai Shui's face darkened upon hearing her words, and he roared angrily. With a wave of his hand, an azure boxing glove appeared in his hand, and he stared at Bei Shuang with killing intent in his eyes. Mutant purebred divine dragon, frost divine dragon, I'll kill you right now. The high water demon king moved and charged toward Bei Shuang with terrifying power. Roar! Bei Shuang transformed into a frost divine dragon, freezing the seawater wherever she passed. The frost divine dragon was also good at close combat. She swayed her huge body and clawed at the high water demon king with her dragon claws. The enlarged high water demon king was also hundreds of thousands of meters long. His fist and the dragon claws collided. Bam! With a loud explosion, Bei Shuang's figure was sent flying backward. However, at this moment, she adjusted her body and swept toward the high water demon king with her dragon might. Boom! With a terrifying collision, the high water demon king's arm smashed into the dragon tail. This time, the high water demon king's body was sent flying backward. Ka. Bei Shuang's eyes were solemn. Without any hesitation, the surrounding water condensed into terrifying ice arrows and shot toward the high water demon king. Good. As expected of a mutated divine dragon. You're qualified to fight with me. Sensing the strength of Bei Shuang, the high water demon king's eyes were filled with violence. He roared and the ice arrows that were rushing toward him turned into river water and counterattacked Bei Shuang. Nomological manifestation, freezing suffocation. Bei Shuang raised her head and spat out a dragon's breath. A misty white energy swept forward. Watch my fist. The high water demon king roared. His fist seemed to be surging with the sound of waves as it flew toward the freezing suffocation. Ka. The sound of explosions rang out. See explosion, explode for me. He roared again, and the surrounding river water surged as he attacked Bei Shuang. Freeze. Bei Shuang's eyes were solemn. An extremely cold aura emanated from her body, and the river water that was surging toward her was gradually frozen. Ha ha ha, high water's fury. The high water demon king laughed wildly. His body expanded again, and the frozen river water slowly cracked open. He charged toward Bei Shuang for the kill. This time, the attack was even more berserk. The river water surged along with his every move, carrying with it the might of the heavens. This guy is very strong. He's no weaker than Bailey Birdman. Bei Shuang is in trouble. At the front of the Dragon Palace, the Water Tentacle King narrowed his eyes as he watched the battle. No wonder he's a double mutated being. He's indeed terrifying. Wang Xian nodded in agreement. I didn't expect there to be such a powerful peak venerable in the universe. At the side, Ling Honggu also frowned slightly. She thought her strength should be invincible at this level. However, the appearance of the high water demon king surprised her. Bei Shuang's strength was no weaker than hers. In fact, she might even be slightly stronger. The frost divine dragon of the Dragon Palace is very strong. No wonder he's the high water demon king. With such strength, he can dominate a region in the invincible domain. He's too powerful. However, the frost divine dragon isn't weak either. After all, it's a mutated purebred divine dragon. Since the Dragon King's disciple is so strong, wouldn't he be even stronger? The frost divine dragon's combat skills are a little immature. She probably hasn't participated in many battles. Her control of the battle is much weaker. If she can't show her dominance, I'm afraid she won't be a match for the high water demon king. In the surroundings, the experts of the invincible domain stared at the battlefield, their eyes filled with excitement. It was rare to see such a battle between experts. They might be able to learn something from it. Chapter 3607. It was that frost divine dragon. What was going on? What was going on? How did that frost divine dragon make a breakthrough? How could he possess such terrifying strength? At this moment, in front of the heaven everlasting river, Demon King Tai Shui was the first to challenge the Dragon King, pinning him down. If they rushed over again, that expert called Old Scholar would be able to pin down another one. In the end, the horrifying Black Tower sorcerer joined them in attacking the other experts of the Dragon Palace. With the number of third-order sovereigns and the existence of the Black Tower, it wasn't difficult for them to breach the Dragon Palace. But what was going on now? A frost divine dragon clashed with Demon King Tai Shui. What was going on? They knew about the frost divine dragon. They had already seen the Holy Dragon King, but what was going on? The frost divine dragon had broken through. This time, it was troublesome. Oh no, this is going to be troublesome. Damn it, how could this be? The sacred Dragon King bellowed in a low voice with an unusually ugly expression. His expression was as dark as blood. Why is the Dragon Palace getting stronger every time? Why? The new clan leader of the Light Insect clan was on the verge of collapse. They were 100% sure that they could destroy the Dragon Palace, but in the end, another expert came from the Dragon Palace. How were they supposed to live? How could the Dragon Palace be so powerful? That frost divine dragon has just made a breakthrough. He's no match for Tai Shui Demon King. If they really fight, Tai Shui Demon King will be able to kill him. The green pupils of the Black Tower Magus stared ahead as he spoke. In our plan, there were only 2 experts of this level in Dragon Palace. Now that one has suddenly appeared, the face of the head of the God Shepherd clan was as dark as blood. Their Shepherd God tribe's foundation had almost been destroyed by the Dragon Palace. Just when they were about to destroy the Dragon Palace, another powerhouse had appeared. So be it. Tai Shui Demon King will kill this frost divine dragon, I'll kill that Dragon King, and Black Tower, you'll kill that red-robed woman. Isn't that enough? Very simple. The old scholar's gaze swept across the sacred Dragon King and the rest as he spoke calmly. Sir Old Scholar, the Dragon King of Dragon Palace and the rest are very strong. I'm afraid it will be difficult for a battle of your level to determine a victor. The Giant of Light Patriarch looked at him and said with an ugly expression. What's so difficult about that? Didn't the third prince give him a space-sealing treasure? We will seal off this space and fight to the death. In a life and death battle, the ones who will die will definitely be them. The old scholar said nonchalantly. Before I came here, I have already said that I will not attack the experts of Dragon Palace together with others. It will be one-on-one. Since there are 3 of them, I will also exercise a little. Old scholar, if you choose Dragon King, leave the last one to me, the Black Tower Magus calmly said. No problem. The old scholar glanced at Demon King Tai Shui and murmured, you really haven't made any progress since the last time. Oh. Old scholar, I'm very curious. Who won last time? The Black Tower Magus looked at him curiously. He has a very powerful trump card, so I don't dare to kill him. The old scholar said calmly. The Black Tower Magus smiled and said nothing more. Were these the old monsters of the Invincible domain? The expressions of the Holy Dragon King and the others changed as they listened to the conversation between the Black Tower Magus and the old scholar. They would not attack together, but only accept one-on-one. In this universe where the strong preyed on the weak, anyone who had such a view was either a lunatic or an extremely conceited person. They took a deep breath and looked at the 2 of them. I will go first. Black Tower Magus, break the array as soon as possible. I can sense that the array of the Dragon Palace is not weak. The old scholar said to the Black Tower Magus. It is indeed not weak. Break the array in 1 minute. The green eyes of the Black Tower Magus once again looked in the direction of the Dragon Palace. Whoosh. As soon as the Black Tower Magus finished his sentence, the old scholar flew in the direction of the Dragon Palace. Demon King Tai Shui, I have already said that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is mine. It seems that it is still mine. I am the old scholar of the Invincible domain, and I lack a dragon throne made of dragon bones. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, come, A carefree voice came from the old scholar. At the same time, it resounded in the sky above the eternal sky river. A voice suddenly rang out, and a terrifying aura suddenly erupted from the old scholar, causing all the surrounding experts to reveal expressions of shock. Old scholar? The old scholar of the invincible domain? The demon-faced old scholar is here too? What's going on? The old scholar is here too. What's going on? Is he going to challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Another expert from the invincible domain. Why are they here to challenge the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Is it because of the strength of the Dragon King? Hundreds of experts from the invincible domain were shocked when they saw the sudden appearance of the old scholar. In the invincible domain, there were not many experts who could match up to Demon King Tai Shui and the old scholar. The appearance of the two at the same time made them feel strange. Ha! Old scholar, this is an expert who is no weaker than Demon King Tai Shui. Beside the Dragon Palace, a dozen elves looked forward when they heard the voice. When they saw the old scholar, their eyes flickered. Ha! Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he heard the exclamations around him. Another expert from the invincible domain has come? That's strange. Dragon King, it's a little strange. Why are there two experts from the invincible domain challenging you? There must be something fishy. Prime Minister Turtle couldn't help but speculate when he saw another old monster from the invincible domain. Wang Xian nodded his head. Wang Xian, let me do it. You stay at the back. Ling Honggu moved a little and said to Wang Xian, all right, be careful. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before nodding his head. If this matter wasn't so strange, Wang Xian would have done it himself. However, it was still reasonable for Demon King Tai Shui to challenge him. After all, Demon King Tai Shui wanted to challenge him a year ago. But now, someone called the old scholar popped up. Was this a coincidence or something else? Wang Xian's dragon eyes flickered as he looked in the direction where the old scholar was flying from. He could vaguely feel someone looking at him. However, he didn't take it to heart just now because there were many experts looking at the Dragon Palace. There were at least a few hundred of them and each of them was terrifying. These were all experts from the invincible domain. Therefore, he didn't take it to heart. Now it seemed, the experts from the invincible domain are related to the Angel clan and the sacred dragon bloodline? He murmured. Experts from the invincible domain, let me have a taste of your strength. I'd like to see what you old monsters are capable of. At this moment, Ling Honggu, who was dressed in a red dress, stood beside him. She was like a ravishing beauty who had walked out of the river of time. With a graceful and terrifying energy, she attacked the old scholar directly. Chapter 3608. Is this the powerful red-clothed woman mentioned by the Universe AI? It's him. The old scholar suddenly appeared, but the Dragon King still hasn't made a move. The Dragon Palace still has experts. The Dragon Palace is indeed terrifying. To be able to produce two people who can fight against the High Water Demon King and the old scholar. No wonder the subsidiary races of the Angel clan were beaten up. The old scholar's appearance surprised everyone. Ling Honggu's attack did not shock them too much. This was because he was an expert of the Dragon Palace on the surface. They were curious about how powerful this woman in red was. What I want is dragon bones, not a pink skeleton. When the old scholar saw Ling Honggu, half of his face slowly turned sinister as he spoke. A cultivator of the sage bloodline who hasn't broken through after so long must be a wastrel with bad intentions. So that's the case. With such a temperament, he still wants to break through. Ling Honggu snorted coldly and said disdainfully when he heard his word. The sage bloodline, the bloodline of the peak races, the old scholar's temperament could be seen at a glance. You're courting death. I'm going to peel off your skin, pull out your bones, and make a pink skeleton to hang on the wall. His words caused the half of the old scholar's malevolent face to become even more malevolent. One of his eyes roared madly. He held the wings made of angel wings in his hand and gently waved them. A terrifying golden glow appeared and condensed into words that blasted at Ling Honggu. The sage bloodline could kill demons with a single word. A painting could trap mountains, rivers, and rivers. A song could transform countless living beings. This was the attack method of the sage bloodline. As for the fan made of angel wings in his hand, it was merely a decoration. The cultivation method of the sage bloodline was somewhat similar to the array formation sorcerers, but at the same time different. Their attack methods were equally unpredictable and powerful. Every word and action was a terrifying attack. Bam, bam, bam. Ling Honggu waved her skirt when she saw the old scholar's attack. Waves of blood-red flames shot toward the golden word. The old scholar was a metal elemental expert. Metal master killing. Bam, bam, bam. The blood-red sea of flames burned the word. However, the golden words seemed to contain a terrifying power and did not immediately dissipate in the flames. They continued to attack Ling Honggu until they were 100 kilometers away from him. Only then did they slowly disappear. Ling Honggu frowned slightly when he saw this. The opponent's strength was very strong, not any weaker than Tai Shui Demon King. He even had to be more careful with his attacks. Book Mountain, suppress. When the old scholar saw that his attack had been blocked, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. He waved the fan in his hand and drew a golden book in front of him. More and more books appeared, condensing into the shape of a mountain, directly attacking Ling Honggu. Burn the book. Ling Honggu saw the flame on his glabella pulsating. A wisp of flame flew towards the golden book mountain. Boom. Arriving in the sky above the book mountain, terrifying flames instantly erupted, enveloping the entire book mountain. At this moment, a scene similar to the battle between the Archangel and the astral behemoth appeared. The water of the eternal river of heaven stopped flowing. The entire eternal heaven river seemed to have sensed the immense terror, and the water no longer fell from the sky. So powerful. Are these the experts of the invincible domain? They're really strong. Oh my, these old monsters are comparable to the Archangel who fought here last time. They're too terrifying. The experts of the Dragon Palace are also terrifying. Be it the Frost Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace or this Lord Redshirt, they are equally powerful. When the experts and disciples of the chaotic continent saw this, they could not extricate themselves from the shock. This battle felt no different from a battle between experts of the Universe Lord Realm. However, at this moment, in the battlefield between Ling Honggu and the old scholar, the flames were burning the Golden Book Mountain, but they could not completely burn it in a short time. Ling Honggu waved his arm, and blood-colored energy poured onto the Book Mountain. The flames grew stronger, and finally, the Book Mountain was completely burned. Such strength, but you're still a little weaker than that Frost Divine Dragon. I can kill you in 10 minutes. The old scholar stared at Ling Honggu and said calmly, I want to kill you in 5 minutes. However, just as the old scholar finished speaking, the hideous half of his face suddenly opened its mouth. The next moment, a terrifying scene appeared. The other half of his face seemed like it was about to be torn apart, and it began to break free from the head. Gradually, the old scholar's body was torn into two. One looked hideous, while the other looked benevolent and benevolent. I want you to die, paradise of death. The hideous old scholar's body slowly healed, and he became a complete human. He took out a golden paintbrush and drew in front of him. Ling Honggu's eyebrows twitched when she saw this strange scene. Crimson, broken bones. She waved the hem of her skirt, and terrifying blood-red bones appeared behind her, attacking that incomparably malevolent old scholar. Golden spears and armored horses. The benevolent old scholar also took out a paintbrush and waved his arm. The golden armored horses seemed to come to life, and they charged toward the blood-red flaming bones. Bam, bam, bam. The sound of bones colliding could be heard continuously. Ling Honggu frowned when she saw this scene. Paradise of death, complete. Ha ha ha. On the other side, the hideous old scholar roared. Ling Honggu instantly sensed that the space around her was changing. She was in a battlefield, and she was surrounded by golden humans and warhorses. They were all filled with savagery. They were boundless, and they were attacking her crazily. How can the old monsters of the invincible domain be so strong? I'm still lacking, and my experience is still lacking. Ling Honggu swallowed her saliva. Compared to the old monsters who had experienced countless life-and-death battles in the invincible domain, she was still too inexperienced. Her strength was still lacking. That woman in red is no match for the old scholar. The ghastly scholar was very terrifying in the past. The battle is exciting, and our trip here was not in vain. The experts of the Dragon Palace are very powerful, but they are still lacking in experience, be it the woman in red or the Frost Divine Dragon. That Frost Divine Dragon is gradually falling into a disadvantageous position. After all, the old scholar and the High Water Demon King have insane battle experience and have lived for another 10 to 20 billion years. The battle had been going on for a few minutes, and Ling Honggu and the old scholar had been fighting for a minute. The surrounding experts of the Invincible domain were commenting. As for the experts and disciples who came from the surroundings, they were all dumbfounded. They were too strong. All right, the array formation can be broken. At this moment, the Black Tower sorcerer, who was in front of the Heaven Eternal River, said indifferently. Chapter 3609, It's done? They broke the Dragon Palace's array formation so quickly? Isn't that too terrifying? Lord Old Scholar said he could destroy the red-robed lady in the Dragon Palace in 5 minutes. Is that true? The Frost Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace is already at a disadvantage. TSK, the 3 lords are too terrifying. The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd God's tribe leader, and the others were shocked when they heard the words of the Black Tower sorcerer. The Black Tower sorcerer, High Water Demon King, and the old scholar were too terrifying. They could not understand why such experts had not broken through to the Universe Lord realm yet. Let's go and completely seal off the Dragon Palace. The old scholar and High Water Demon King can kill the Frost Divine Dragon and the red-robed lady. The Dragon Palace can be destroyed. The Black Tower sorcerer said calmly. Yes, Lord Black Tower sorcerer. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is also very powerful. The Sacred Dragon King and the others said excitedly. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? Hehe, leave it to me. I'll kill him. The Black Tower sorcerer said calmly, not taking the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace seriously. The Black Tower sorcerer was confident that he was stronger than High Water Demon King and the old scholar. As he spoke, he flew straight ahead. The Sacred Dragon King, the Shepherd God's tribe leader, and more than 70 experts followed behind him excitedly. He, old scholar, High Water Demon King, you two keep fighting. I'll be the one to destroy the Dragon King in the end. The Black Tower sorcerer said with a smile as he flew forward. His calm voice resounded across the sky above the Sky Eternal River. At the same time, he flew calmly toward the Dragon Palace. He was surrounded by energy and easily withstood the aftermath of the battle between North Frost and High Water Demon King, as well as the old scholar and Ling Honggu. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, today is the day you die. You killed the disciples of the Shepherd God's tribe. Today, I'll make you suffer a fate worse than death. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, today is the day you die. Our light insect tribe will torture all your disciples for billions of years. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, die. I'll make you pay 100, 1,000, 10,000 times for killing the experts of the Giant of Light. The sudden appearance of the Black Tower Magi did not wait for anyone to react. Behind them were the Holy Dragon King, the leader of the Giant of Light tribe, the leader of the Shepherd tribe, the new leader of the Light Insect tribe, the leader of the Black Fog Spirit tribe, and the leader of the Gowl tribe. They led over 63rd Order sovereigns as they flew over, their bodies brimming with killing intent. A terrifying killing intent soared into the sky, and the entire Tianheng River instantly darkened. Even the space was slightly distorted, and the atmosphere instantly became incomparably solid. The killing intent of 71 Third Order sovereigns condensed into a terrifying river. It was as if it wanted to destroy everything. What's going on? Who is the figure that suddenly appeared? Why is he so familiar with Taishui Demon King and the old scholar? And what's with the 70+ experts that suddenly appeared behind him? That figure, that green eye, it's a Magus from the Black Tower. It's a Magus from the Invincible Zone. Hiss, what's going on? The sorcerers of the Black Tower have appeared, and the top 3 experts of the Invincible domain have suddenly gathered at the Dragon Palace. Are they going to destroy the Dragon Palace? This was premeditated. Taishui Demon King and the rest were invited here. Following the roars of the Holy Dragon King and the rest, the experts of the Invincible domain were shocked when they saw the Magus from the Black Tower, another top expert of the Invincible domain. Their gathering was not as simple as challenging the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. They were here to destroy the Dragon Palace, the Holy Dragon Bloodline, Shepherd God Tribe, and the rest. Aren't they subordinate to your Angel Tribe? Looks like Taishui Demon King and the rest were invited by your Angel Tribe to destroy the Dragon Palace. At a corner of the Tianhang River, a few old monsters from the God Tiger Tribe looked at the group of old monsters from the Angel Tribe and spoke. We don't know either. The group of old monsters from the Angel Tribe shook their heads. Although they were disciples of the Angel Tribe, they had not reached the Universe Sovereign Realm. They had no right to participate in the matters of the Angel Tribe. Interesting. This can be considered a one-on-one battle. The old monster from the God Tiger Tribe murmured as he looked on. Even the Black Tower Magi are here. Looks like the Dragon Palace is going to be destroyed. If the Dragon Palace doesn't have a trump card, it's probably over. The Black Tower Magi are among the top 3 in the Invincible domain. In other places, some experts commented when they saw the Black Tower Magi, they did not expect that Taishui Demon King's challenge to the Dragon King on the AI was not just a simple challenge. He was invited by the Angel Tribe to destroy the Dragon Palace. What's going on? Were all these experts invited by the Holy Dragon Bloodline? The Holy Dragon Bloodline and the rest of the 6 major races don't have such strength. It must be the intervention of the Angel Tribe. Another expert has appeared. Is the Dragon Palace doomed? It must be the intervention of the Angel Tribe. It seems like the Angel Tribe is determined to destroy the Dragon Palace. If the Angel Tribe wants to destroy them, how can the Dragon Palace resist? TSK, I'm afraid the Dragon Palace is doomed today. The disciples of the surrounding experts were shocked when they saw another super expert from the Invincible domain appear. Another super horrifying expert had appeared. Oh no, Dragon King. You guys are in trouble. The Black Tower Magi is a horrifying sorcerer who specializes in arrays and curses. His body has also been modified. He's definitely a horrifying existence. At this time, a dozen elves in front of the Dragon Palace saw the Black Tower Magi. They narrowed their eyes and spoke. The Black Tower Magi were here too. And the 70-odd experts behind them. Clearly, they were here to destroy the Dragon Palace. Dragon King, we can't interfere in your feud. The dozen elves said to Wang Xian that they couldn't interfere in this matter. It's indeed the Angel Tribe. It's indeed one of the 6 major races. However, when they looked at Wang Xian, they saw that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace was not worried at all. Instead, he was laughing. What the hell is this? But why is the Angel Tribe looking down on me this time? Why did they only find 3 old fogies from the Invincible domain? Wang Xian continued murmuring. The dozen elves opened their mouths slightly when they heard him. What does the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace mean? A bunch of lackeys of the Angel Tribe. They've been torturing you guys since the beginning. Now, they're still unwilling to give up. They even asked your master to find 3 old fogies. Just these 3? Is there anyone else? Get up and stop wasting time. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the Black Tower Magi and fixed it on the Holy Dragon King and the rest of the experts. Chapter 3610. Huh? Ha! Ha! Wang Xian's words stunned everyone. Be it the Black Tower sorcerers or the experts from the Invincible domain, they were all taken aback. So arrogant. So arrogant. More trump cards. The Sacred Dragon King and the rest were also taken aback. Their pupils constricted as they looked around the Dragon Palace and fixed their eyes on the elf. This was their territory. The elves could not participate in the war between them. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? How arrogant. I'd like to ask if the Dragon Palace still has more trump cards and experts at the level of the mutated Divine Dragon. The Black Tower sorcerer stared at Wang Xian and took out a compass. There were only 6 red dots on the compass. He glanced at them indifferently and smiled. No, I've shown them all. What about you guys? Wang Xian smiled and answered truthfully. We're out too. I'm the last one, So you guys are going to be annihilated. The Black Tower sorcerer stared at Wang Xian with his green eyes before turning to the dozen elves. The elves can't participate in our war, right? Of course. The dozen or so fairy experts nodded their heads. They couldn't participate even if they used the excuse of being guests in the Dragon Palace and not disturbing them. Because there were old monsters from the Angel tribe around, they could participate. But the old monsters from the Angel tribe would participate too. Dragon King, take care. If you can't do it, just escape to the elves' territory, they said to Wang Xian before flying to the side. Rest assured. Wang Xian gestured to them with a smile on his face. How could he not be happy when someone came to send resources to the Dragon Palace? The experts from the Invincible domain were indeed strong, but if there were only 3, then none of them would be able to leave. Even if there were 4, none of them would be able to leave. But if there were 5, then they could. Because Wang Xian could only fight 3 at most. This was his limit. The strength of Tai Shui Demon King and the old scholar had indeed exceeded his expectations. But not long ago, Wang Xian's strength had increased again with the addition of the Dark Ghost Doppelganger. Therefore, he wasn't flustered at all. Are you confident? As the Black Tower Magus spoke, he approached the Dragon Palace. The Holy Dragon King, the Shepherd God tribe leader, and the others followed behind. The formation of your Dragon Palace is indeed very strong. It seems that you have quite a number of formation sorcerers at the peak of the universe venerable realm. If this formation were to be fully activated, even Demon King Tai Shui would not be able to withstand it. Unfortunately, you've encountered the sorcerers of my Black Tower. So, your trump card is useless. The sorcerer from the Black Tower stared at Wang Xian and smiled. But when paired with his green pupils, his smile gave off a sinister feeling. What? Wang Xian didn't hear any changes in his words. However, the expressions of Tian Zhan and the few dragon shamans changed drastically. They were dragon shamans, sorcerers who specialized in spell formations. How could the sorcerer from the Black Tower say that their spell formations were useless? How is this possible? The magic array we set up actually failed. When did the other party break it? A dragon which sensed it and could not help but exclaim in shock. As the Dragon Palace's peak witch dragon at the peak of the venerable realm, they didn't even know that their array formation had been broken. The other party's methods shocked them. The other party's mastery of the array formation also shocked them. Even Tianjin's face was filled with a solemn expression. This sorcerer from the Black Tower was terrifying. He was no match for him. The array formation of the Dragon Palace can withstand an expert at the level of Demon King Tai Shui? Sacred Dragon King and the rest followed behind. When they heard the words of the sorcerer from the Black Tower, they were shocked and excited. They were shocked at the power of the array formation of the Dragon Palace, but excited at the terror of the sorcerer from the Black Tower. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace must be so confident because of the array formation of the Dragon Palace. That was why he dared to be so arrogant. Now that the array formation had disappeared and the sorcerer from the Black Tower was so terrifying, the Dragon Palace could only wait to die. Malevolent expressions appeared on their faces. The experts and disciples of their tribes were killed. They would capture all non-purebred divine dragons in the Dragon Palace and torture them incessantly. They would torture them for tens of millions of years, even hundreds of millions of years, to pay tribute to the experts and disciples of their tribe. Among the old Magi in the Invincible region, in terms of spell formations, other than that crazy old witch, the Magus of the Black Tower is the strongest. Unless the witch ancestor comes, even the disciples and disciples of the witch ancestor are no match for an old monster like him. The sorcerer from the Black Tower is really terrifying. He destroyed the array formation of the Dragon Palace while hiding in the dark. The array formation of the Dragon Palace should be one of their trump cards. Now that it's gone, they're probably done for. Some of the old monsters from the Invincible domain discussed and evaluated. The battle begins. Forbidden space, seal, open new space. The sorcerer from the Black Tower was still smiling as he spoke. With a wave of his palm, a ball flew out. This was a sealing treasure given to them by the third prince. Even the sorcerer from the Black Tower was slightly envious. Unfortunately, The third prince had placed a restriction on it. They could only use it once. This treasure was a carnate cardinal treasure that could seal off the space. After the new space was opened, they had to control this carnate cardinal treasure in order to close it. Of course, there was another way, which was to forcefully break it open. If they forcefully broke it open, a dozen third-order universe sovereigns could do it. However, they would need to attack continuously for dozens of seconds. Obviously, they wouldn't give the Dragon Palace the chance to do so. Usually, the supporting carnate cardinal treasures were extremely powerful. If the third prince were to control the carnate cardinal treasure to open the new space, even a true universe sovereign would not be able to open it. The power of the carnate cardinal treasure was related to the strength of the user. Damn it! They are going to use a powerful treasure to seal off this space. We can't see anything. A challenge has turned into a genocide. Naturally, the sorcerer from the Black Tower will seal off the entire space. It's a pity that we won't be able to see anything. What a bummer. I was expecting to see a battle between the top experts. Now, we can't see anything. When the sorcerer from the Black Tower took out the carnate cardinal treasure to seal off the space, the surrounding old monsters from the Invincible domain shook their heads helplessly. Naturally, they couldn't let the experts and disciples of the Dragon Palace escape. It was normal to seal off the space. But to them, it was too much of a pity. They hadn't seen much of this battle. If it was a life-and-death battle, they could still see some powerful combat abilities and techniques. But now, they couldn't see anything. Oh! Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the other party sealing off the space. Great, he liked it. A bunch of guys came from afar to send themselves to death. They even added a door to prevent him from escaping. Hee hee. Good people. Chapter 36:11, Buzz Buzz Buzz. A space enveloped the entire eternal river of heaven within a radius of 2 billion kilometers. The entire Dragon Palace was completely surrounded. Even High Water Demon King, North Frost, the Old Scholar, and Ling Honggu, who were fighting on the side, paused for a moment and looked over. The entire Dragon Palace was sealed. Ha ha ha, Dragon King of Dragon Palace, let's see how you escape now. With the three lords of Invincible domain here, prepare to die. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, I want you to see your disciple killed and your experts die. When the carnate cardinal treasure completely enveloped the Dragon Palace, Holy Dragon King and the others cheered excitedly. How could they not be excited? Ever since the sacred dragon lineage was prepared to deal with the Dragon Palace, they had suffered setbacks at every turn. One by one, the sacred dragon lineage experts were killed by the Dragon Palace. It was even more so for the shepherds and the giants of light. Originally, the 6 major races assisted the sacred dragon lineage, but in the end, the heaven plant demon beast race was directly annihilated by the Dragon Palace. As for the other 5 great races, all the elite disciples of the shepherd god race had been killed. The giant of light and the light insect race were even worse off. Only a few of their experts were left. It was incomparably tragic. Now, it was time for them to take revenge. Humph, you want to destroy our Dragon Palace with just you? The experts of Dragon Palace stared at them with cold eyes. We alone are enough. The Black Tower sorcerer swept his gaze over the experts of the Dragon Palace with a mocking look on his face. High Water Fiend King, Old Scholar, finish them off as soon as possible. Don't let any accidents happen. He looked at the Taishui Demon King and the Old Scholar as he spoke indifferently. TSK, TSK. I don't want that Dragon King. I prefer Frost Divine Dragons and Variant Divine Dragons. Lord Highwater's eyes shone with excitement as he stared at Bei Shuang like a hunter. I still have 4 minutes. The 2 old scholars floated in the air as they spoke. All right, let's do it. The sorcerer from the Black Tower said coldly as he locked his gaze on Wang Xian. Come on, one-on-one. Let me see the strength of the Dragon King. Ha ha ha, good, good. When Wang Xian saw the confident looks on the faces of the sorcerers from the Black Tower, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. The Saint Wings of No beginning appeared directly behind him. On his clothes, 2 divine dragons of light and darkness slowly appeared like an ink painting. Today, I'm here to learn from the old monsters of the Invincible realm. Speaking of which, I'm curious to see what makes you think you're invincible. Wang Xian chuckled as he flew up into the sky. His eyes gradually turned sinister. Invincible domain is just a name for a domain. No one dares to call themselves invincible, and no one can be invincible. I can't be invincible, but it's enough to kill you, the Black Tower Magus said indifferently. Haha, to put it bluntly, all of you are just a bunch of trash who have been unable to break through for a long time. Naturally, none of you dare to claim to be invincible, because all of you are still not qualified. Wang Xian flapped his wings slightly. You bunch of trash might not dare to, but I dare. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged towards the Black Tower Magus at a terrifying speed. His speed was terrifying. As Wang Xian flew back and forth, he did not bring out his 5 elements grindstone or his companion spirits. Similarly, he did not even bring out his dark ghost doppelganger. Just like that, he charged towards the Black Tower Magus with the speed of a first-order universe sovereign. Arrogant. Anger flashed in the eyes of the Black Tower Magus when he heard Wang Xian. He moved his palm, and 5 black fingers appeared out of thin air around Wang Xian, blasting towards him. What a fast speed. It's almost done in an instant. Seeing the Black Tower Magus making a move, Skyformation's face turned grave. This Black Tower Magus was a huge blow to Skyformation and the Dragon Sorcerers. Haha, prepare your harvest. Our Dragon King's Tai Chi Dragon Plate has broken through, and they are here to deliver resources. Skyformation, you and the Dragon Sorcerers quickly set up the array. Don't let them escape later, the Water Tentacle King said to Skyformation with a smile. His eyes were not on Wang Xian and the rest, but on Tai Shui Demon King. If I eat this guy, I should be able to recover completely. The energy in this guy is so dense. Even after such a huge accumulation, he still hasn't broken through. What a waste, what a waste. She mumbled to herself, and her eyes were burning with passion. Yes, she was already considering devouring Tai Shui Demon King, because the Water Tentacle King knew how terrifying Wang Xian was. This bunch of guys was just a dish to him. Around them, Prime Minister Turtle and the rest also smiled, without a hint of worry on their faces. Ha! Those guys from the Dragon Palace are so calm. Patriarch, should we act now? No need. As long as the 3 lords from the Invincible Domain kill the Dragon King and the rest of the experts from the Dragon Palace won't amount to much. Seeing that the Black Tower Magus was about to collide with the Dragon King, Sacred Dragon King and the rest spoke up. They were not in a hurry to strike. The key to victory today was still with the 3 experts from the Invincible Domain. Boom. At this moment, the 5 enormous fingers of the Black Tower Magus struck towards Wang Xian. The terrifying aura wasn't any weaker than the Tai Shui Demon King and the Old Scholar. The 5 fingers smashed heavily towards Wang Xian. Ha! However, when the 5 fingers landed on Wang Xian, the Black Tower Magus didn't see any resistance. The attack landed directly on him, but at this moment, the Black Tower Magus sensed a horrifying energy attacking him. This energy made him feel as if his own attack had landed on his body. Fart. Caught off guard, he spat out a mouthful of blood. That's it. Trash will always be trash. At this moment, a disdainful voice was heard. He saw the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace passing through his attack easily and coming to a distance of 10,000 meters in front of him. The distance between them was already very, very close. If that's it, then die. At this moment, Wang Xian suddenly accelerated. In an instant, he was only a few meters away from the Black Tower Magus. The Black Tower Magus' expression changed slightly. Under his incomparably black sorcerer robe, claws suddenly appeared. Every claw looked horrifying and hideous as they clawed towards Wang Xian's body. You're courting death. His eyes were filled with malevolence and he didn't look as calm as before. Wang Xian's strength had completely exceeded his expectations. However, as an old monster who had lived for a very long time, the Black Tower Magus was no longer an ordinary sorcerer. Ordinary sorcerers were either experts in the Tao of Arrays, Tao of Physical Body Transformation, or Tao of Uncanny. As for the Black Tower Magus, because of his long life, he didn't have any flaws. He was good at everything. Chapter 36:12. Ferocious claws flew out from his chest. His body had gone through a terrifying transformation. These claws were the claws of the devil. The claws of the devil were fused with the claws of the giant cosmic beast and transplanted into his own body. They possessed horrifying attacks. At such a close distance, Jian Yun had no time to react to the horrifying claws, and he did not make any attempts to resist. Instead, he took the initiative to face it. Around him, the Tai Chi dragon coil slowly solidified and rotated. This move of the Black Tower sorcerer was still forcefully resisted. Hiss hiss hiss. The densely packed hideous claws made a strange sound. This was the weirdness of a sorcerer. Bam bam bam. However, when the attacks of these claws landed on Wang Xian's body, he felt his speed slowing down. Following that, the densely packed claws seemed to have encountered a great terror. The incomparably pitch-black claws actually slowly shriveled up and began to slowly break apart. Ah! The pain spread to the Black Tower sorcerer and he could not help but let out a blood-curdling scream. His attack was still unable to break the defense of the Tai Chi dragon coil. As for the backlash of the Tai Chi dragon coil, it directly affected him. Invincible defense. I'm invincible. Seeing this scene, Wang Xian revealed a smile. Unless 3 or 4 Black Tower sorcerers attacked him at the same time, he would not be able to break the defense of the Tai Chi dragon coil alone. This was the horror of the Tai Chi dragon coil. I'm invincible. So, you have to die. Wang Xian stared at him and said sarcastically. At such a close distance, he instantly appeared in front of the Black Tower sorcerer and raised his right arm. On his right arm, the light divine dragon of the Tai Chi dragon coil wrapped around him and punched towards him. This punch was comparable to the light divine dragon of a First-Order Universe Lord. In short, it was the power of one dragon. Bam! At such a close distance, the Black Tower sorcerer, who was already suffering from the backlash, could not resist at all. His head directly exploded, turning into strange insect-like creatures. But the attack was not over. The impact of the light divine dragon coil was not over. These strange insects died instantly. The Black Tower sorcerer was killed instantly. However, Wang Xian could still sense a transfer of energy. This was a life-saving treasure. Thinking about it, a terrifying expert from the Invincible domain would definitely have some life-saving treasures. What? How is this possible? Right at this moment, the Sacred Dragon King and the rest of the Shepherd God's tribe leader were shocked when they saw this scene from the back. What the hell was going on? Awesome. A sorcerer from the Black Tower who could break the Dragon Palace's formation from a distance. A top-notch expert of the Invincible domain, instantly killed by the Dragon King. One move, just one move. Flying over, then with a single punch, kill. In the middle, the Black Tower Magi tried to block twice, but were ignored by the Dragon King. All of this happened in an instant. Just like that, the incomparably confident Black Tower Magus was gone. The contrast was too great. This was too terrifying. Impossible. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King can't be that strong. The Sacred Dragon King and the others were on the verge of breaking down. They were horrified. That was impossible. What? At the side, Taishui Demon King and the Old Scholar had yet to fight with Northfrost Spirit and Redbone. They still wanted to see the strength of the Dragon King. They didn't need to see too much. Just one move would be enough to understand the situation. But the Black Tower Magus was instantly killed with one move. Even though the Old Scholar and Taishui Demon King had not been summoned for a long time, they knew that the Black Tower Magus was definitely a terrifying guy. If he had set up the formation in advance, they wouldn't be a match for the Black Tower Magus. They might even be killed. But the Black Tower Magus couldn't even withstand one move from the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. The first life is gone, but there's still a second. But at this moment, Wang Xian's voice sounded. His body moved and without hesitation, he flew to the right. His speed was still as terrifying as before. Over there, the Black Tower Magus appeared eerily. In terms of aura, there wasn't much difference from before. No, how can you be so strong? How can your defense be so strong? At this moment, the Black Tower Magus was horrified to see Wang Xian locking onto him instantly. He stared at Wang Xian in horror. How could this be? He was a top-notch expert in the invincible domain. He even dared to touch the real universe dominator. What kind of demon was this Dragon Palace's Dragon King? How many lives do you have? Wang Xian stared at him and asked sarcastically. He came to the front of the Black Tower Magus. The Black Tower Magus's green eyes widened gradually. His creepy green eyes almost shot out. Flame of life, extinguish. His two green eyes really flew out. The green light was burning eerily. This was the karmic fire of life. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the Black Tower Magus sacrificing two eyes to release an attack. Wang. In front of him, the Tai Chi dragon plate spun. The light divine dragon and darkness divine dragon intertwined. A heavy aura came from the Tai Chi dragon plate. The Black Tower Magus's two attacks landed on the Tai Chi dragon plate. Flames bloomed instantly, but the Tai Chi dragon plate spun. Light and darkness quickly extinguished the green flames. The flames began to shrink and shrink. At this moment, the cries of the Black Tower Magus were heard. The backlash had begun. He seemed to be suffering from a horrifying curse as his body began to crumble. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a smile. He flew over and gave a light punch. Obliteration fist. The Black Tower Magus's second life was gone in an instant. But Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and revealed a surprised look. He still had a life-saving treasure. You sure have a lot of lives. Wang Xian looked in a direction. He moved and continued to fly. In that direction, the Black Tower Magus's body condensed again, but this time, he had lost his eyes in his eye socket. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, you killed me twice. I'll curse you with my life. I'll exchange my life for yours. Both of us will fall into the cycle of reincarnation and be buried in the stars. Curse of twin, if I die, you die. The moment the Black Tower Magus appeared, his maniacal voice was heard. The art of curse. The Black Tower Magus was more proficient in the art of curse. The Dragon King had killed two of his lives and was tainted with karma. He could carry out the curse. However, the Tai Shui Demon King and the old scholar were shocked to see this. They were shocked by Wang Xian's strength. Similarly, they were shocked by the art of curse of the Black Tower Magus. Chapter 36:13. Why is the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King so terrifying? Seeing that the Dragon King had killed the Black Tower wizards as easily as killing dogs, Demon Monarch High Water gaped in disbelief. The Black Tower Sorcerer used his strongest curse. It is said that the Black Tower Sorcerer has many life-saving treasures. He can resurrect after death and curse the person who killed him. This time, the Black Tower Sorcerer used his life to curse the Dragon King. Is it because the Dragon King is giving him too much pressure? When the old scholar saw this scene, he suddenly felt nervous. This Dragon King was too terrifying. Even the Black Tower Mags had no power to resist. Slaughtered at will. This made them extremely nervous. The Black Tower Sorcerer was beaten in such a manner without the slightest resistance. Now, he had even used such a terrifying curse technique. If the Dragon King did not die, the consequences would be unimaginable. The old scholar and Tai Shui Yarrow King stared at him in panic. As for the Sacred Dragon King and the 70-plus Third Order sovereigns, they were completely dumbfounded. Wang Xian flew towards the third life of the sorcerer in the Black Tower. The number of life-saving treasures this guy had exceeded his expectations. And this curse of his actually came at the cost of sacrificing himself. This caused his eyes to flicker slightly. Buzz. At this moment, the Tai Chi dragon plate seemed to have sensed a surge of energy invading Wang Xian's body and started to operate automatically. As Wang Xian watched, he revealed a faint smile. This made him think of one of the abilities of the Tai Chi dragon board. Yin-Yang space. Being in the Yin-Yang space, Wang Xian felt like he was in another space and could ignore the curse. Not only could it ignore curses, but it could also block terrifying attacks. Kaka. When the Yin-Yang space opened, it was followed by the sound of something cracking. This surprised Wang Xian a little. The curse of the Black Tower Sorcerer was a little terrifying. The Tai Chi dragon plate almost failed to block it. Fortunately, the curse didn't last too long, and the Yin-Yang space stabilized again. No, 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 this is impossible. At the front, when the Black Tower sorcerer saw Wang Xian standing there unscathed, he roared in disbelief. As soon as he finished speaking, his life force seemed to be sucked out of his body. He died again. Wang Xian sensed another surge of energy appearing on his right. This time, it was very close to him. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2. He immediately rushed over, and before his body was completely formed, he directly grabbed his neck, and his body was surrounded by the Tai Chi dragon coil. You have quite a lot of dog lives. I want to see how many lives you have left. As he spoke, a surge of energy rushed into the Black Tower Magus body. This time, he didn't even have time to speak before he was easily killed by Wang Xian. More! With the peerless sacred wings, he sensed that the Black Tower's Magus had revived once more. Crash! The unparalleled sacred wings flapped, and with a terrifying speed, he flew towards the other resurrection spot of the Black Tower Magus. No, 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 don't kill me. The Black Tower Magus roared in despair. Bam! However, what welcomed him was a punch from Wang Xian. A punch that killed him. This Black Tower Magus had already lost his will to fight. After a few consecutive deaths, and his strongest attack, the killing curse, was fended off by Wang Xian, he was in despair. After the fifth death, Wang Xian sensed that the Black Tower sorcerer was completely dead, leaving behind 5 corpses. The energy contained in each of these corpses was more horrifying than the corpses of ordinary Third-Order Universe sovereigns. In other words, killing 1 was equivalent to killing 5. Not bad, Wang Xian was satisfied. Cough, 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 when the Black Tower Magus was completely killed by Wang Xian. The hideous-looking old scholar let out a horrifying scream. He looked on in horror as though he had encountered a great horror. The Black Tower Magus had 5 lives. So many lives had shocked them, but each of their lives was instantly killed by the Dragon King. This was too horrifying. Was he an expert on the same level as them? Even those crazy old monsters in the Invincible domain couldn't be this strong, right? Too horrifying, too horrifying. Alright, it's your turn. High Water Demon King, didn't you say you wanted to challenge me? You want to kill me? After Wang Xian dealt with the Black Tower Magus, his eyes fell on High Water Demon King. This guy was arrogant, extremely arrogant. Wang Xian didn't like him. Dragon King, kill him and give him to your little brother, the Water Tentacle. I'll devour him and recover. At this time, the High Water Tentacle King bellowed from behind. All right. Upon hearing that, Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2, catch, X, devour him and the High Water Tentacle King will recover. Not bad, in this case, the Dragon Palace would have another First-Order Universe Sovereign expert. Great. Devour me. Seeing the Dragon King targeting him and hearing the words of the High Water Tentacle King, High Water Demon King trembled violently. He was going to be treated as food. However, looking at the horrifying Dragon King, he was a little fearful. Swish. Seeing his master targeting him, Bei Shuang moved and came to Ling Honggu's side. He fixed his eyes on the old scholar. Today, none of you can leave. The second one to kill will be you, High Water Demon King, Wang Xian said coldly. With a swift move, he launched an attack on Tai Shui Demon King. His speed was as terrifying as ever. This Dragon King's defense is terrifying. Can I break through his defense? It's not just defense. Attacking him seems to bring about a strange backlash. High Water Demon King was no longer as arrogant as before. His forehead was filled with cold sweat. He was not crazy. He had seen the terror of the Dragon King just now. However, they were not far from each other. Now that the space was sealed, even he would have to give it his all to break through the sealed space. However, he was already dead the moment he broke through the space. I don't believe your defense is invincible. He roared with a hideous expression. His huge body and the inborn cardinal treasure gloves on his arms smashed towards Wang Xian. There was no other way. He could only fight. High Water Demon King did not hesitate. Boom. Wang Xian flew over and did not resist at all. He just crashed into it directly. Break the array and run. At this time, the benevolent-looking old scholar saw this and shouted without hesitation. The lady in red and the frost divine dragon of the dragon palace were attacking him. The old scholar knew he was no match for them. Not to mention, there was still the horrifying Dragon King. At this time, it was time to escape. Escape! Escape! Sacred Dragon King, the leader of the shepherd gods, and the leader of the giant of light were dumbfounded. They swallowed their saliva. Escape! This Dragon King is too horrifying. The roar came from the head of the Black Fog Spirit clan,